Hello.
Welcome back to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Ilias.
And me, Robert.
And
the podcast is brought to you in collaboration with 21 Draw.
That is true.
What is 21 Draw, Ilias?
21 Draw offers online courses, like master classes by famous illustrators, and also sell like how to draw books.
Awesome.
And
they also have their Instagram, which offers you some sort of daily art tips from also famous artists.
Yeah, snippets from the books.
Yeah, so at 21 Draw on Instagram. Awesomeness. We love them so much. Love you, Chris. Yes. Don't forget to comb your hair.
What the fuck? Yeah. So with that said, bada bing, bada boom.
Let's get this show.
On the road.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons, even with beards and tattoos. You know they haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any line. Sketchbook hero.
You better come home, Speedy Gonzales.
Exactly.
And we're back. It's going to be interesting to see how you cut that, if you cut that.
I'm not going to cut it.
All right. So, yeah, how have you been, buddy?
Good, man. Trying to just, I don't know, go with the flow, I guess.
Yeah.
Recuperating from our extremely hectic, awesome event.
Mm-hmm.
That was not too hectic, but I don't
At
know.
the time, it wasn't, but just before and right after,
Yeah. And
I died.
It kind of lasted all until now for me. Like,
Oh, dude.
the whole weekend and now.
The weekend, I was ruined.
Yeah.
I think I got home at 3 a.m. I slept for 3 hours, and then my kids were like, Saturday! And yeah, so they never sleep during the weekends. They just wake up super early, like earlier than they would when we go to school.
Of course. Because they don't
No
have
respect,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
No respect for sleep.
Yeah, no, I had to get up and work. Thankfully, it's like a long-time customer, Robin. Awesome, thank you for coming in. So we're always very chill. Like, and he just gotten over a cold, so he was also very tired. Thank Christ. So there was no pressure. Like, fuck, I was sweating out.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I
All
don't
the
know.
beer.
Yeah, I didn't think I drank that much, but apparently I did.
My body says otherwise.
Yeah. So yeah, I was hurting, and then yesterday. So we're recording Mondays now. Or again,
Sorry.
we're still recording Mondays.
Oh,
So-
shit, yeah, we did.
So the whole of Sunday, I was completely dead. So yeah, God, we're never gonna do one of those things again.
Never. What a shitty event. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
No, kidding.
It was fucking epic.
So good.
You guys, I don't know what happened. On the Facebook event, it actually said 54 people. And me and Robert were like, okay, 54 people.
So maybe 30.
Like, yeah, so we'll have like 30 to 40 people coming, like somewhere in between, because you always have a drop-off.
Of course, always.
And then at the event, I think a total number is closer to 80 than it was to 54.
It's fucking insane.
That is bananas. You sons of bitches didn't sign up. No, just kidding.
I didn't know we had that many listeners.
Yeah, I don't think half of
No,
them knew
no,
what
they
the hell
didn't.
was going on.
They
They're
came
just like
clean.
drawing. Yeah. No, that's fine. Now they're devoted listeners to the
Yes.
gospel of the Sketchbook Heroes.
Please, yes, drink the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm. And then everyone dies. Yay!
Yay! Thank you for listening.
Exactly.
But no, the event was really incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much got through, but it was really like this, I mean, relaunch of the podcast event, drawing event, me coming back from Australia event. I made it into that myself.
Yeah, I was not in on that.
No.
I already had that.
But it was just like this whole bunch of different things that
Yeah.
we sort of celebrated, and it was incredible. And again, thank you guys so much for showing up. And yeah, we're definitely looking into doing more of these.
Yeah. I just I can't believe that so many people made it to an event that we made, which
Exactly.
is pretty sweet. Yeah, and the raffle was terrible.
So terrible,
but
so
in
good.
the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like I think we delivered like most things. When me and Robert sort of entered the
danger zone?
No. Underverket, the
Oh, yeah.
venue.
Yeah.
We just we walk in and Robert said he just feels panic and
Yeah.
says
I'm
oh
like,
shit.
Exactly.
Like we did not prepare shit.
I'm like, Wacom is coming. We're gonna have to do this. Like, oh my God, we have at least 10 people coming, and we're not prepared. And then 80 people later,
Yeah.
you know.
So big thanks to Thomas Forselius, Thea Forselius on Instagram, Pierre something no, but awesome. Like the people that really helped us out in the beginning there, you know, like because we come in here, I was like, pour the chips, and they're like, in what? And there was just this big like casserole
Yeah.
thing, like what do you call it, like a saucepan?
Yeah,
That's what they're
something
called, yeah.
like that.
Like we had a ginormous saucepan that Pierre filled with chips
Yeah.
or crisps or whatever the fuck you want to call them, and he just fills the thing to the top, and he was like, I might have overdone it, you know, like just like exaggerated how much chips I poured into this thing, and he didn't.
Definitely
just-
didn't.
Yeah, people ate like more than half of it
Yeah.
because it was. I remember it like passing the surface, and that shit was gone by the end of the night.
Yeah. No, I emptied it out at the end of the night, and it was
Yeah,
pretty
there
much
was
nothing.
Yeah. So we
So
were
thank you.
super
Yeah.
happy, and nobody complained about the seating that we didn't have.
Exactly. That also made me panic, and I was like,
yeah,
fuck, we
same.
didn't think about this. Like,
And so
if there's
yeah.
more than 20 people coming, we don't have
we
chairs.
don't have seats. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was me again. Like, I have a mild OCD. I've realized throughout these years.
Yeah, by not prepping, and then he panics over that.
Yes, but I'm still like that loosey goosey dude that just
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
give a shit about anything. But yeah, for this event, because it became more and more special. You know, the closer we got to
Oh,
it, it
dude.
became like this
I don't
cool thing.
understand how it grew because we
No.
thought we were gonna get like 20 to 30 people tops, and then 80 show up that we did not expect.
And everybody was drawing.
Everyone was
Almost
drawing.
everybody was like circulating and talking to
Mhm.
everybody. Like we didn't have to like. Don't get me wrong, but like force people to do things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, not at all.
like let's change seats, everybody. You know,
Yeah,
we didn't have
we
to
didn't
do
have
anything
do
stupid
any of
like that.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed legitimately interested in what everybody else was doing,
Yeah.
and perfect timing with Inktober as well. With
Yeah.
people
Saw
were
a
like
lot of
giving out
cool
tips and showing their stuff, and
Oh, that
so
is the
much
best
fun.
thing about
Yeah.
these is like checking like people's sketchbooks. So if you guys check out Ville Eriksson, I think with a C, holy dicks. Like I knew he was good because I've met him on these ones before, but every time you just like, what? Why are they so good?
60% of the time it works
Every time.
all the time.
All
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah. But it is just like I was so happy. People were super nice, and I don't know. Everyone was fucking drawing.
I think that was the biggest thing for me.
I think you and me were the only ones not drawing at
Yeah,
the event.
I didn't have time.
I don't know. I drew the one like half-assed link where my pen didn't work on that
Yeah.
big piece of paper.
I'm looking at it right now. It's
Oh
behind
shit!
you.
Yeah, it's behind me.
Yeah, and I drew my ugly fucking face.
Yeah, that was like the worst on that paper.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And then you guys did stuff.
Yeah,
so that
you
was
you
pretty
saved it.
sweet. Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
because I was struggling with an art block like in the previous episodes, and this really forced me. This really forced me out of that bubble. I still had to push myself beyond like the comfort zone. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to give up drawing the one that broke the bubble, I guess. But you guys really made me do that. So thank you so much. Like now I'm back into my creative state.
Mm.
So
That's
now,
sweet.
yeah, now I need to do more work because I didn't do work.
Yeah.
So
And also, a cool thing about these events is that they give you so much Like, sure, they took all my energy, but it took all my energy. But I also enjoy how it gives you so much back. Like, you feel the urge to draw. You feel, like you want to create shit.
Yeah.
Although I didn't on this event, at least.
No, but it will, like, it's there now. Like, it's almost like you charge the batteries of this creative tank. And, yeah, it's just so inspiring to see everybody just, coming in, drawing, and being creative together, I guess. Like, it is a nice little community that is slowly growing, I hope. So, yeah, if you have friends that haven't heard the podcast, please share us, like us, and rate us on your favorite
podcast
thing.
Yeah.
Preferably iTunes, I guess.
Yeah, because it really does help the podcast. And also, I wanted to say about the event, back to the event quickly.
Yes, back to the event.
Back to the event now, people. No derailing about votes and shit and rating. But this was a pilot. This was a test pilot project for us. We've done these events before with a good turnout. I think we've had around 32 people or something.
Yeah, yep.
At coffee shops around Stockholm.
And that is, it's limiting in that way.
Yeah.
But it's also a security blanket in that way because...
we don't have to do shit.
Exactly. Yeah. We just show up and then...
You show up.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest, like, the feedback that people give me the most when organizing these is that I don't do it in time. Like, I do it, like, last minute, especially when we, like, now that you're back.
True
and before you went,
style.
We do everything last minute. It's like, spur of the moment.
We are like the best improv class ever.
I think that's where we shine.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's also super stressful for us,
it is.
so that sucks. But
just the fact that everybody sort of latched on to it, whereas like it started out as one of those sort of coffee shop gatherings, but here at Underverket, and then like with your connections to all of these awesome brands.
I did not expect anyone to hop on that so last minute. The thing is, it's been a week maybe since from releasing this episode, or two. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna start investigating all of that now. That's why I'm gathering all the photos and everything I can get hold of from everyone who was there.
Yeah.
So if you know someone that's holding back on photos, send them my way.
Slap them in their face. And send over the photos.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
No, but seriously.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, we'll just use it to pitch. Like, we won't sell the photos or anything. We just need them to show the clients or the sponsors what happened during this event. And if someone has, like, a good video that doesn't feel like, I don't know, like someone filmed it on their phone, but has some editing skills, that so that it looks good, send it our way.
Please.
It's nice to show them, like, the liveliness of the event as well.
Yeah.
Because I love seeing all these snippets and videos that I've seen. They've been so, like, it was like being there again, like you recognize the sound,
And it's because when we were there, it was a little bit overwhelming.
Oh, so overwhelming.
You miss so much because, I don't know, you almost get like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And you're just like trying to give everybody so much focus and attention and like pep everybody, which is why like the energy was just, the rest of the weekend was gone.
Oh, yeah, I died.
But so just seeing those videos and photos again brought so much back, which was really cool. But yeah, can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I can't. And I hope that we can make it even more epic. But since we're sort of cashing for this ourselves, it's nice if we can get the sponsors in, because I don't we don't want to take your money.
No.
Like, we want the podcast to be free for you guys, and we want the events to be free unless we're offering, like some
major service.
No, but like a famous artist that comes and teaches something for real, then we must sort of pay that guy as well.
Yeah.
But I think I don't, like, most of the times though, I just want these events to be, I want us to be the Swedish hub of, like, gathering artists into one place.
Yeah, for sure.
That's our studio, Underverket.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
But if you have suggestions on how we can improve the event, except get chairs, I don't think that's going to happen because we would have nowhere to store chairs later. No, but seriously, if you have, like, suggestions, improvements,
anything you missed or wanted to have at this event,
or if you know someone.
Yeah. anything.
If
really.
you know someone that could sponsor like a specific thing that would make this event awesomer, you can add that extra to it.
Us a murderer.
Yeah, exactly. Just always reach out. And that's all I have on the epic.
Let's not nag it too much.
Yeah, because for those of you who weren't there, you suck.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, remember.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's just remember that you suck.
No.
No.
Remember that we're gonna have another one.
Another
try to. We're gonna try to announce it a little bit earlier too.
Yeah, I
So
think
people have time to sort of, if you have kids, you get a nanny or a babysitter and something,
Mm-hmm.
so you can make it out. Like Kim, thanks
Yeah.
for coming out, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah, awesome.
And
It's nice talking to you.
yeah, fuck it.
Cool.
Let's
move on.
Let's move on. Away we go.
All
into
right.
the topico.
Yeah, and before are we gonna swoosh or swoosh?
Are we
Or should we
swooshing?
just say what the thing is about first and then swoosh to the swoosh?
Maybe we swoosh and then we say what it's about.
Oh, okay, fuck
Yeah,
it.
let's do
Okay,
the swoosh.
swooshy time.
Swoosh it.
Whoa! Fucking idiots!
Yay!
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what are we talking about today, Ilias?
Today we're talking about work. Our line of work, or my line of work, and Robert's line
In
of
my
work.
line of work. Yes.
So I am a game artist.
And I am a tattoo artist.
Exactly. And no worries. And we're gonna start with Robert for
What?
some. I
Really?
don't know. I just didn't want to start. I don't know.
You
why.
were about to start.
No, yeah, I
just
know.
jumped in
And then I just felt like, oh no. So Robert is starting because I say so.
Oh, jeez.
And I have no mandate to do that, but he apparently goes along with it.
I'm working on my. All right. So we're starting with me.
Yeah, Robert is a tattoo artist. Do you want to take us? Do you want to talk about it from the start though? Because you started off as an apprentice, and I don't remember. I think we've talked about it.
We sort of brushed over it. I think.
over it, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. To me, it just seems like this mundane thing that people probably don't want to hear about.
But I
But
think they do.
maybe they do.
Because I think we think our lives are boring,
Yeah.
but people think
I mean,
don't
being,
think that because
yeah,
it's our lives, so it
I guess.
becomes a little like meh.
meh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. But I could brush over it again, really. quickly.
Just brush over.
But it does feel like, because a normal apprenticeship is
Mm-hmm.
some hard work. Like when you look at other people and what they get to go through. Normally it's a 2 to 3 year period where you are a slave to your master, and it's actually called a tattoo master. So you're an apprentice, he's the master or she's the master, and you will do whatever this person tells you to do. Otherwise, you're not going to be an apprentice anymore, and you have to fuck off and find some new asshole that will take advantage of
Show
you.
enough.
Exactly.
Who's the best?
But I lucked out, and I got into Huckleberry Tattoo, which is the place I'm still working at the moment. And the place is run by hippies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like the friendliest group of tattoo artists you will ever find, including myself. Like, I am also very nice sometimes. So my apprenticeship was like half a year to a year of me just setting up and putting down or disassembling stations for the other people, cleaning the shop, and just sort of learning the basic hygiene routine, like what to think about when you're doing this and that and la la la, and then slowly starting from tattooing myself with like everybody watching to bringing in friends, tattooing a little bit cheaper, and then slowly working my way up. As they saw I was getting better, they sort of upped my price for, first it was a daily amount. So no matter how big the tattoo, it was just a symbolic amount. And then that became the hourly rate, and then that became a higher hourly rate, and so and so.
How did you survive?
Thankfully, I'd saved up a whole bunch of money from my Lego job.
Oh, shit, yeah. But it wasn't that sort of like... Because you went to several tattoo studios, right?
Yeah, the process of finding an apprenticeship was like a little bit time-consuming, I guess. I had work at the time, so I had some work for Lego that I was drawing, and I was also approving a couple of books and stuff, just freelance. So I got money in, which is like I wasn't stressing too much about finding the apprentice place. And at this time, I was already starting my sleeve at Huckleberry. So Nelson Hardy has done my comic book sleeve on my right arm. And I started that one before I became an apprentice.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So the way I approached my apprenticeship or trying to get into a place was through the sleeve. So I went to a tattoo shop. I explained the idea of the sleeve and then sort of just snuck in, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm looking for an apprenticeship. Do you guys have maybe room? And, after asking a couple of places, they pointed me to Nelson at Huckleberry. I came there and, by chance, he was sitting at the computer in the reception as soon as I walked in. So it was kind of meant to be, and loved his style. It was perfect. And then, just took it from there, really. So maybe after 3 or 4 sessions with him, I got the apprenticeship, and then here I am.
That's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah. So, but that was like the story of the apprenticeship.
I've heard so many worse stories, though.
Oh yeah,
from friends of ours without name dropping and shit.
It's
not a great experience.
It's not. It's normally really, really not. So I think in the tattoo community, I don't have that much respect or cred because I didn't go through that stuff. And I think today it's not as normal. Back in the day, it was really normal to heckle the apprentices.
That is so dumb, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to fucking hate you at some point and then just leave and go somewhere else.
You're creating monsters, really. Whereas Huckleberry is all about like peace and love.
Yeah, that's the only sort of like they're like when I got there last time night when you were back from Australia.
Yeah,
he was like he's family. Just like when I arrived, you can just go back.
And you've been there like twice, but they know you.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing.
That's the cool thing about them. Yeah.
And that's why I love the place so much. And I was really nervous about coming back because I wasn't sure I was going to get my old job back.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of new people in, some old people left. So the dynamics might have been different. So maybe I didn't like being back. There was a lot of worry.
A lot of things.
Yeah. So, but so far so good. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm really happy to be back. More and more of my old clients are seeing that I'm back now too. So slowly getting more work. So it's heading in the right direction. I'm still like, I don't know, getting into it. Don't on it. Oh yeah, you got compliments for your heart effect.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Ilias did this heart thing when we were talking.
Yeah, because everyone was talking
prizes.
At the same time, so I thought like if I do the heart thing, maybe everyone will like, what the fuck is he doing?
The tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
As we were handing out the gifts.
Or the raffle.
The raffle thing. Yeah.
Did we talk about the raffle? It was terrible.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was the worst.
It was the worst, but
the app was even worse that I was using.
We could do a really late thank you to 21 Draw for supplying us with all the great prizes.
Also, Adobe, big thanks for giving us 1 year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud. Yeah.
That was insane.
Bananas. Yeah.
That blew my head off. Yeah. Like when you wrote me
that was just the days before. They were like, we don't have time to be there, but we would really love to give away 1 year Adobe Creative Cloud, which is like Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, everything that they have
for 1 year.
Yeah, for free.
That's insane.
So that's pretty cool.
So cool. Like that sort of made me feel worried.
No, we killed it. We were so good.
Yeah, we're so good.
Just fake it.
Yeah.
People fake it.
But this is how we work. We improvise everything. So we do forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So sorry for forgetting.
But we've
that.
also always been open with that we improvise and we don't, like, if you don't like the way we do these types of things, then we're probably not the people you should work with.
Or maybe just download the episode and re-edit it.
Yeah, exactly. To your liking. And then send it to us. And
yes, please. And then we can submit that. Yeah. All right. But... So today we're talking about days in the life, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like for us, it's sort of the day-to-day, and it's boring. Like when we talked about this last week, about today's topic, you and me think this is boring because it's what we do every day. Like it's fun, but talking about it,
like it doesn't seem like a relevant or even interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah, but then again, a lot of you people, or some of you, are all trying to like become tattoo artists, or you're trying to come into the game industry.
Yeah, exactly.
And we thought that just talking you through like a normal day at work
might discourage you.
Exactly, to pursue maybe janitor worker or something. Nah.
No, I'll try
Nah.
to.
And there's nothing wrong
sell
with
it
being
in.
a janitor.
No, of course
I've
not.
done that.
It's
several
actually
times.
quite enjoyable.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I listen to so many audiobooks.
Yeah. Don't you miss or sometimes miss the old days with a normal job within parentheses, or what do you call this?
I think
Air quote.
the thing is, what I sort of like about it and what I don't is that it gives me perspective to appreciate the job that I
Hell
have
yeah.
rather than missing that job specifically.
Yeah. That's
Because
exactly
I used to work
right.
as a janitor at the Modern Museum. I think we've mentioned this at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
But you sort of since it's a museum, you're not supposed to, wash the artworks, but you just walk around with the dry cloth, and get the dust out and stuff like that. You
A
vacuum the
duster.
floors. Yeah, exactly. Gives you tons of time, and you only do this up to the point where the museum sort of opens to the public, and it's super chill. That job was at least super chill. The toilets, not so chill, but you have gloves and shit. Who cares? And you could listen to audiobooks. I think I plowed audiobooks.
You were the audiobook master.
Dude.
I think you listen to
Like
a
it
new
was
one every day.
Every day,
almost.
basically,
Yeah.
depending on length.
Yeah.
I think some of them were just 14 hours. That was a day
Yeah.
of listening.
But,
So that was
but
nothing.
I remember being so jealous of you for having that job because you finished early.
Yeah, I finished super early,
You
1
got good
o'clock.
money. Or
Yeah, it was,
money for
the
back
amount
then.
of work that I was
Exactly.
putting in, and my rent was 3,400.
So
That was nothing in.
so perfect, really. So you had time to do whatever you wanted. You got money,
Yeah,
and you got to listen to audiobooks while
yeah,
working.
all the day, and then
So-
But I wasn't drawing that much back then. I was becoming a.
Oh, yeah, the
No,
stunt-
it wasn't the stuntman. I was applying for that. I was.
Yeah, we were sort of in that shift
Yeah,
Where-
somewhere in between.
because I was also gonna become that stuntman. We were gonna.
Oh
do the
yeah,
stunt
shit.
thing.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Yeah. That's
We both
true.
got into the stunt thing, and then I moved to Germany, and you
Mhm.
did the stunt thing. But
Crazy times.
yeah, I mean, it brought us back here.
It did
Yes.
indeed do that.
All right, but enough of the derailing.
Tattoo stuff. Let's
Tattoo
go
stuff.
back.
Let's do. Yeah, so I think maybe the best way to talk about my process is to go through the whole thing with one client
Okay.
and every step that I go through to finish a tattoo. And yeah, I guess so. Let's say you have an idea, you come to me.
Yeah.
Normally, I would request that you come in to the shop and we have a little sit down or a consultation. You explain the idea to the best of your capabilities, and you show me reference pictures if you have that or anything. Maybe some people only have a little idea of what they want, and then they ask me to do my geotrash thing around it. So maybe, I have this Studio Ghibli thing I want to do, and I want this and this character, but with your thing. And then my thing is to add trashy lines and not trashy lines around that, pretty much. So what I will do then is we'll book in a time, and I will draw up until that appointed session, which means, and I'm very clear about this with every client, I do not show any drawings beforehand. This is only to minimize the confusion of the finished product.
Yeah.
It might sound like a little bit lazy or reckless or whatever you want to call it, but it's so much easier than, say, I send you my idea a week ahead of time. You're gonna have you're gonna look at it, but then you're gonna show it to all your
Everyone,
friends
yeah.
or everyone really.
Basically everyone, and that can be a lot of people.
And every single one of them will feel the need to comment on the design. Some might say it's awesome, but most will say, "Oh, are you sure you want that? Maybe do this or tweak this or do." Everybody has the greatest idea.
And it's going to influence
Exactly. And
you.
when I'm drawing a design, I need to finish it.
Yeah.
I can't just draw a little bit, send it in, and then wait for 3 days
Yeah.
and then pick it up again and start drawing with all of your corrections. I might not even see that email. It might end up in the trash or junk mail.
You
I
never
mean,
know. You never know.
Or you might not see my email,
Yeah.
so I won't get a reply back. And stuff like that can happen. Happens all the time. So I always set aside a little extra time of the tattoo appointment to go and look through the design that I've done with you. So we check it together. If there's anything that you don't like about it, we change it right there and then until it becomes perfect. So that's the process up until the actual tattoo appointment. And the way I work is I don't take money for the work I do beforehand. I only take money for the actual tattoo.
But some people take
appointment.
money for the
Yeah, some
stuff?
people
Oh, okay.
account for the hours they put into drawing.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I do that too. If it's a really big piece,
No, if it's
gonna
a
take lot of
complicated piece,
time.
yeah. If it's just writing someone's name in a font that exists, you
Yeah.
know, like, eh.
And so this is just the one client. I have roughly 1 to 2 clients every day, which means I have.
But you had more before, right?
Before I used to be doing maybe 2 to 3 per day,
Oh, okay.
but I've started doing a lot more intricate and bigger stuff, so it takes
Cool.
longer.
Yeah.
I don't want to stress it too much, so if I know it's going to take a little bit longer, I might set the price and like say we're only going to do 3,500. So if we go like an hour over, that's on me.
Okay.
But I'd rather like
Get it all
cut
set.
that stress out of the equation,
Yeah.
and both can relax because it's only going to be 3,500 crowns.
Yeah, it's never going to go past
and
that.
you can relax because you have that in your bank account.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have to do this every day, and most of the time I have to draw multiple things every day for an upcoming appointment, which means I never sleep because I draw all the time and never get to draw for myself
Yay.
because tattoo designs. So that's the process up until the appointment. Then the actual day of the appointment, I always double check the design in the morning, compare the emails and notes or whatever we have to make sure that I feel like, all right, this is how I interpreted the idea. And maybe finish the sketch pretty much in the morning of the appointed day. You come in, we sit down, look at the design. I change whatever needs to be changed. We say it's perfect, set the size, and then we're off. And then we start tattooing. And that normally takes 3 to 4 hours. That's a normal time with me. And that's pretty much it. And then hopefully you'll want more.
But question in sort of like, let's say, now we've talked the process of one client.
Yeah.
But you never only have one client. You know what I mean? Like, how do you organize, like, let's say you have 8 hours to sort of disperse between clients. Like, let's say 1 to 3 clients. How do you sort of, like, make time, like, since you draw, like, on site when they arrive and you just do, like, the final tweaks, you print the stuff and start doing.
Sometimes that could take over an hour to do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And how do you, like, plan in? Like, let's say you have 3 clients booked for that day. How do you fucking balance that? Like, how do you make the math to make that work?
Because that is the question. Like, that's something that I learned how to do a lot better in Australia. Because there was so much work, and they were so strict on time at Authentic, which was the shop I was working at, that like in the beginning I was like I couldn't really nail it down to the exact hour it would take, but towards the end I was almost on the minute. Like it was scary how accurate I could predict the amount of time I needed. But now when I came back, that sort of stress has gone, and now I'm very, very much more relaxed, and this is the way I prefer to work.
Because Huckleberry doesn't have those things, like, right?
No,
they let you sort of decide.
We are our own bosses, so I come in whenever I want to come in, and I leave whenever I want to leave.
You don't have to explain yourself very
nothing.
much.
No. The only thing I have to do is actually print an invoice or like a receipt for you, so that the boss knows how much the percentage is for the entire month. That like the rent chair money, chair rent money. God.
How does that work? If we're gonna talk like, do you have experience of like what different tattoo studios, without just your specific, do you know what they charge sort of like for you sitting at their sort of tattoo parlor?
It's a little bit different for almost every studio, really. We have at Huckleberry, it's 35%, I think. So that's 35% of the total amount that I've pulled in over the month.
Over the month, yeah.
And that is before the tax.
Yeah.
So it's quite a lot of money that goes to the shop for the chair, which this is something we are sort of talking about a bit that we want to try and change, because now I'm not working that much. But before, when I did 2 to 3 to 4 clients per day, you know, I worked my ass off around the clock and I never got money for it.
Yeah.
Like I made maybe somewhere between 25,000 out every month, which is a normal sort of, you know, a worker man's salary.
Yeah.
Which, like in our business, I should be rolling in it. Like, because tattoo artists are supposed to be like super rich. If you look at all the Instagrams and they have the fancy watches and new bikes and cars.
I have no
and,
idea. I follow no one.
Like, I don't know how they get that much money. Well, I do, because they don't have to pay a large percentage.
Yeah, and also if you run your own shop, I guess. It's
then there's no percentage. You just rake it in.
Yeah.
But other shops have a fixed amount every month, which is what we want to try and get. So you pay the same amount every month.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Everything,
no matter.
you just, you know, if you work a lot, then you're going to get a lot of money.
Yeah, you should. I personally believe, like, if you work hard, you should be awarded for it.
Of
like,
course.
You shouldn't just like give it all up.
And that's why I'm working a little bit slower now, because I feel like there's no benefit in me working my ass off.
Yeah, and then
sleepless every night. You know,
I get that.
And then some places have both. So some places are really terrible. You could have like a fixed amount.
I heard
and
some where they got
50%.
50%. Yeah, that is fucking bananas.
But what you get with the percentage is normally a lot of the wastable the wastable materials that you use, like all the plastic stuff you wrap everything in, all the disposables, I guess, gloves and shit. But you have to normally, at least, you have to pay for your own colors, your own needles, your own machines. And whatever extra stuff you might need, but normally that's what you pay for. All of that does cost a lot of money in the long run. I think I probably spend a couple of $1,000 on needles every month. Same with everything. Like, it does cost a lot of money.
Yeah, you need to like take care of your gear, and you
of
need,
course,
like,
it needs to be fresh
and everything.
Exactly, it's very obviously very important. But yeah, it's an expensive job to have, but to me, like, seriously, the money is secondary, because it is the best job I've ever had. Ever. Like, I can't say that enough. I'm so fucking happy I found this job. Like, this,
man.
It feels like the thing that I was always meant to be doing. And I still feel like I really, really suck at it. Like, I'm always going to feel like that, hopefully, because it keeps me chasing the, like, new goals all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with me, like, creating, again, air quotes, creating my new, my own style. That gives me another reason to keep pushing and really evolving. And, like, what is that eventually going to become? And it's, I don't know, it's just very exciting all the time. Like, every time I sit down to do a new geotrash design, it's reinvented in some way. Like, even if they all look very similar, it's still me constantly trying to tweak and
something.
Yeah. And, you know, the more tattoos you do, the better you get, the quicker you get, all of that stuff.
All
and
the
it's
normal
such
stuff, yeah.
It's such a cool process to be a part of. And I'm just.
And I guess not
super
having
lucky.
an actual boss where you can sort of like, I want to start at 10 tomorrow because reasons.
Exactly.
You just do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I am actually starting at 10 tomorrow.
There you go.
Normally I start at 12, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
I do. So I work Tuesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturdays is almost a must in the tattoo business because people are free. And but
money.
You should really, like, if you want to get stuff, you should try and do it within, before the end of this year. Because now I'm trying to evolve as much as possible. So I want to do a lot of really fun, creative stuff, but I'm very flexible with the pricing.
Yep.
So I'd rather do some really fun stuff with no stress, which means not a lot of money into my bank account, but I will, like, I'm focusing on evolving.
Yeah, Robert wants to pivot.
Pivot!
So if you want tattoos and want to help Robert pivot,
Then I'd say reach out on Tattoos by Rob and just underscore in between every word. So tattoos underscore by Rob. And just get in contact with me there. I'm always open for pretty much any type of tattoo, but mainly my own style. And now I want to focus on realism a little bit more. So all of that stuff I'm super excited for. Any stuff.
and I have a question.
Question.
When you have, for example, let's say you have the clients that you have during that week, you have to draw all their, tattoos and stuff like that.
Yes.
How do you keep that? Like, are you excited to do those? And how do you sort of, how do you keep it fun? How do you?
It's up and down.
It's up and down.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Compass Rose.
I think me. Yeah. No. I'm one of those dudes, or tattoo artist rather, that is always super excited for you coming in and getting a tattoo with me. I'm always going to be the most excited.
Maybe the only tattoo artist that will ever be, because I've never met any tattoo artist that I felt like, oh, this person is happy that I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that.
But I am always really excited to do it.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, it's earnest.
It
like,
is.
I mean, real.
It's almost 5 years in the business now. And I still get really excited to do texts or that compass rose or whatever
that's
it
what
is.
I mean, yeah.
I'm still waiting to do my first Carpe Diem. I haven't done that yet.
What?
Yeah.
Shit,
That's
5 years and no Carpe Diem,
I
Robert.
think it's the only one thing that's eluded me so far.
Fuck.
I
Do you
know.
even seize the day, bro?
I never do.
You never seize the day?
No, that's why I'm waiting for
So
it.
if anybody wants Carpe Diem
And
you're that insane,
it's
Robert
gotten
is
one of
your
those
guy.
bad stigmas, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've even done old school tribal shit. Like I've done everything apart from that one. So that one is I would love
Shout
to do
out
it.
to no, just kidding.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of work, and you just have to do it. You know, it's like every other job. You know, you have a job to do, you do it.
No, definitely, I get it.
But I do tend to push the deadline as far as I can because, like with everything else, I need that deadline fire up my
fire
ass.
up your ass.
I keep saying the same thing, but it is true. Like I
No,
work
dude.
so much better that way.
Same.
I really do, go frozen on the bitch with a lot of the stuff because you reach the point where you just have to realize that people have come to you to get your work, and they're probably gonna love whatever you do because it is like I put as much effort into every design as like it doesn't matter which design, I put as much effort into each and every one of them. And it's work, you know, I'm going to get money for it. So, you know, of course, it deserves all of my attention. Yeah.
That's nice, though.
It is.
Because, like we talked about before the podcast, I followed Maria to get her tattoos at different studios that I'm not going to name. But people are so hard to work with, like tattoo artists. It's not that they just, for example, the one guy that I talked about said that, I'll get back to you, like I'll send you the design, which you said like I would never do.
No, if you say that, you fucked yourself. You have to send the design.
And then when she finally started like, oh, please, can I see the design before I get there? And he didn't even reply. And then she got there and he shows the design there. Like, had she known that, you'd be fine. Like, I'll show you like the design when you're here and we can like sort of talk through it. And if you want to do some changes, I'll just do some quick changes. No reply until she got there.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. Like, just be clear. You don't have to send shit. Just like, I'll work some designs out, and when you're here, we'll check which ones you like, and then we'll do, like, that's clear. But there was none of that.
No.
It was just silence, radio silence until she showed up.
Yeah.
I think he was late as well. It was just like something like that, you know. Like,
That's a very common thing with tattoo artists in general.
Yeah.
Like they do, you know, it's a part of the business in some way too. So I'm sort of stuck in between these two camps. Well, not really. I'm more of the professional.
yeah, but
In
I
terms
am
of-
too, even if I'm tired or, you know, like I don't want
You,
to or
you have
whatever.
to put on that face.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
it's a business.
I'm gonna take
you
their
have
money.
to be a businessman.
Yeah.
Of course. So with me, hopefully you're always gonna get like service with a smile, and unless the idea is totally absurd, I'm always gonna be very flexible and will work with you, you know, as much to my abilities as possible.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
a lot of artists will go, I'm not doing that,
yeah.
and just like there's no
but it's like
explanation or anything.
No, because
Just like plop. Because
totally
they don't
get
want
it.
to do it.
yeah, there's tons of those. Like, oh, I only do these type of tattoos.
And I get that.
I'm fine with that because I would probably be one of those.
If you've been working for 10 years
Doing the same.
you know,
Yeah.
and then
I get it. Like as
you
an
reach
artist,
this limit or this sort of peak in your career where you have the luxury of actually choosing your job.
yeah, then fine.
Of course you
That is-
should.
You should.
But
yeah,
with a smile, be nice. Like,
yeah.
Don't like say fuck you to the client because they wanted a text. Like,
Yeah, because that was the other one. Maria wanted a text, and then the lady that was going to do the text, she was like, "Oh, I don't like texts." Like, okay,
okay.
then why the fuck did you take the job? You know what I mean? Why do you need to tell the client that you don't like text? She's like, "Oh, I think text always turns out ugly." People, I don't think like that
so
is
service-minded.
That is and she was nice later. But I'm just saying that is a terrible way to open any type of business. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like now tattoos, you sort of get away with it. But I think it's such a shitty way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what
It's
I
horrible.
love about your tattoo studio. Everyone seems like nice, you know.
They are. Even the scary guy is super
Yeah, well,
nice.
that's-
Everybody is like a little bit of a misfit. You know, nobody
Mm-hmm.
is like normal within society standards, but
Yeah.
they're all genuinely super nice people. So big shout out to Huckleberry. You're
Yeah.
even wearing our shirt right now. So.
Yeah, I know. I love this shirt. It's a bit big. I needed to squeeze my biceps, but it doesn't. So I have to like pull them up, but I love it. I love
Nice.
this shirt. Yeah.
Looks good on you too, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right. But back to the business. I really don't know what more to say. I'm sure there's a lot of questions that I'm totally blowing by because, again, this is like I'm just trying to get out all the information that's in my brain, but I'm sure I'm missing a lot of.
But before we
important
move
stuff.
on to what I do, what would you say, like for people looking for internships and shit, or want to pursue becoming a tattoo artist?
Yep.
Because you've done it both here now and in Australia.
Yes.
What would you say, like your total experience from both that and working here for years? Like, what would you say is like a few good tips for anyone wanting to become a tattoo artist?
Sure. Well, for me, it was about, or what I've learned. Let's do it that way. What I've learned being in the business.
It sounded like I farted when I'm just gonna own it. Just like I'm gonna pretend I farted. Fuck it.
Yeah, own it. But yeah, so what I've learned through my few years in the business is you should definitely sort of research the style that you most likely would want to get into. Do me that favor and really check out different artists and see if you gravitate towards one of the styles that you see more than the other one.
Yeah, you might have like a set way of drawing that.
That's
Might
like
make
more
it-
suitable
yeah.
for, you know, I don't know if it's old school or neo-traditional or realistic or whatever style you might go into. Nowadays it's very popular with like line work, geometric stuff, or just black work in general. But yeah, so research the different styles, see if there's any of the styles that you feel very comfortable drawing, and start creating a portfolio from there. But then it's also really good to showcase the width of your knowledge within the artistic field. So even if you have, I don't know, some still life watercolor stuff, like if it's good, show it. So obviously you bring your A game, you show the coolest stuff that you have and stuff that you're really proud of, and then prepare yourself to be ridiculed. It's gonna be like terrifying walking into all of these different shops. But so I would say create like a list of the different shops that deal with the style that you're after. Start sort of terrorizing them a little bit. So you go in and just really show yourself a bit and ask for their advice. Take their advice to heart and really work on the different things that they might tell you to work on. Some places might just really just shun you and, kick you out, and you have to be ready for that. But most of all, just try to be open-minded and be ready for critique of your work. Because you might think that your art style is awesome, but it might not be transferable to the tattoo industry at all. So that's why it's good to research it a little bit. And then, just really keep working at it and be persistent. If they're not kicking you out, then there might be hope for you. They might just not have the room available. So keep coming in like every other month or so and just say hi, Most artists are pretty open to getting people in and just sort of sharing some knowledge and stuff like that. The industry is opening up a lot more for stuff like that, which is great. But be adamant and again, just take their advice to heart and just keep working on your style. Eventually, if it's meant to be, it's going to be meant to be, It will happen if you're just willing to put the time in and do the work that's necessary. So, I guess that's the best advice I have.
Also draw a lot.
Draw a lot, yes, because not a lot of tattoo artists today do. So that's going to be a big advantage if you know your like anatomy or just the basics, perspective anatomy, even simple color stuff. I'm not into colors at all, really, but I still know my color wheel and I still sort of know how to work with colors a bit, which means I get to do a lot more work than the rest of the guys in the shop because not a lot of people do color. So the more stuff you know, the more work you're going to be getting.
Yeah.
If you're open to doing a lot of different styles, that's awesome. And I would never say just lock into the one style, obviously, because we talked about that in the previous episode with styles. The more you know, the more fun it's going to be.
Yeah, because then you won't have like, oh shit, I got another one of these or another one of that. Like,
you are going to grow sick and tired of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But, and this is something I've told pretty much all of my clients, but let's say I only get one tattoo design for a year.
Yeah.
Like the same design. It's still going to be a different day every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean as well. Like
you're working on skin, right? You're working on people, and every person they're all going to be different. The skin type is always different. Some people prepare their skin and you moisturize and like exfoliate before your appointment. Some people don't do shit. Some people even like are dirty and they're not even showered when they come in. Like you can't predict anything.
Yeah.
So I could be super prepared and I've studied everything I need and I know exactly how much I need of everything.
Fuck it up.
And then this person comes in and starts screaming when you see a needle.
Oh shit. Yeah,
like,
that is horrible.
You don't know. Which is what makes this business so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what more to say. Like,
but you also get to meet like from the high to the low, like the people you don't know who you're meeting. Like it could be like the most awesome person in the world. It might be a famous person. It might be an asshole. You'll meet them all.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's good to have that consult beforehand.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I have had a few of those where I'm like, we're not vibing. Like, something feels off. And sometimes you have to be honest. Like, I'm not going to be able to do a good job of this tattoo. Like, I think hopefully you have an idea of who could help this person then. Yeah. So you're never like just saying no, but you're always like, oh, actually you should talk to Björn or Johan or whoever it is, because like they do that style and they do it really, really good. Yeah. But obviously if they really want me to do it, I will. I'm always honest saying it's probably going to look better with this guy or this girl. Like,
Because if it's like the mandalas that Johan does, like crazy,
and you know,
and he loves
That's
that
it.
shit like so much. You just like okay,
yeah. So like, I'm not gonna steal
Yeah.
work from him, you know.
no,
And
but,
that's also a good thing about this shop is, like, we all do that to each other.
yeah,
Nobody fucks anybody over. Even if you really need the work, you're still gonna be that honest.
yeah, of
Like,
course. Like
which
there
is-
is no point. Like, why do it if you know that it could be so epic that they're like gonna love that tattoo.
Exactly.
And you can do like because we both know our weaknesses. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm really bad at this.
But
I
that's
could do it, but it would be awesomer. Like he can bring another level to that tattoo. So
exactly.
that would be the way to go.
And that's something that we don't talk about much too, but knowing your limits,
Yeah.
you know, because I mean, when you're hungry and you're coming out in any type of business, you're gonna want to say yes to almost everything. And some work might take you, you know, 3 times as much time to do than you thought it would.
Yeah.
But, you know, it doesn't really work that way in the tattoo business because, you know, I'm not just sending a digital file to somebody. This is going to be on their skin forever.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a part of me that's with this person forever now. And if I fuck that up, it's always going to be fucked up.
I have a question now that you said that.
Mhm.
Because last time, or like an episode or 2 ago, when I was talking about like that horrifying feeling of knowing that you're going to tattoo on someone.
Yeah.
And that is fucking frightening. So let's say you want to become a tattoo artist, but this is a big issue for you because you are so uncertain. How did you sort of get into getting comfortable
Or getting
with that
past.
idea? Exactly. How
Yeah.
did you?
Oh man, so this is something that I've just recently sort of started letting go of. But I am nervous before every tattoo still. You can't help but be. Like, because it is like it's very obvious. You're going to be hurting somebody for a lot of hours and you might fuck it up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Definitely.
You're never going to tell the client you did.
No.
Because you're probably going to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, man, dude, and this is a story I tell everybody as well, but at least for the first 6 months of me tattooing, I was so nervous I was throwing up in the mornings.
Oh shit! Really?
I was
Like
so
that
nervous.
bad?
I was shaking like, you know, a fall leaf or whatever, you know.
Okay.
Like I was so terrified standing on the platform waiting for the train to go into work every morning, just like sweating profusely and like hating myself, anxiety, all of this stuff.
All of this stuff, yeah.
And then as soon as I came into the shop, it was like go time. It
You
just
just
clicked
fuck it,
in, and
yeah.
you just, again, I keep using this term, but fake it till you make it. Like,
Did you manage to sleep at all? Or
yeah,
like
ish.
ish, yeah. Like that think sleep, you know, where you're just like I need to go up, I need to do this,
Yeah.
I need to, yeah.
No, there was
stress.
a lot of waking up stressed, like, yeah, just having sort of nightmares about fucking up tattoos and stuff. But you can't get away from it. You can't get away from being nervous about fucking it up. And the only thing is, like, you grow that confidence and you get more and more secure, and you just have to believe in yourself. That
Trust the process.
Exactly.
Or your process.
and
at least,
commit when you do. Like, as soon as you put the needle in the skin and you commit to that line, you can't just stop. You have to trust that your wrist knows or your arm knows how it's supposed to be, and you know.
I'm just afraid, like circles and shit. Just like Jesus
That was,
Christ.
like, the first ever tattoo that ended up in a magazine for me was with perfect circles, and I did that with. It's a needle called a one-liner, and it's the smallest needle you can get. And it doesn't really work. It's so small. So the way it works, or the way I worked it back then at least, was you do the circle, but then you do it again to put in the ink, because the needle is so
make
small, it
holes.
doesn't push in the skin. So it only opens the skin first, and then you push in the ink. So you're talking like maybe 1/3 of a millimeter thick lines, and you have to hit the exact same mark twice.
Jesus.
And normally, because they're so small, it doesn't hold, you know, all that well in the long run. so you might have to touch it up again.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, it seemed to hold, yeah. And it ended up in Tattoo Magazine. And it was like within half a year of me starting to tattoo, yeah.
That is terrifying.
So terrifying. Yeah, because the thing a lot of people don't realize is, again, it's a living being.
That's what I mean. That's
you know, even if the person is sitting still, you still have a pulse.
Yeah,
the person is breathing, and
trying to adjust their position without moving.
Yeah, even if they don't notice that they're moving, they're always moving.
They're always moving. Yeah.
And I have to stretch the skin. That's how I get a perfect line, and I have to work the needle in the right sort of tempo and depth to get that perfect line. But on top of that, I need to reassure the person that they're, you know, in good hands and make everything comfortable and nice and have them not think about how much I'm hurting them. Mm-hmm. So it's what we talked about with you talking for the Wacom gig and, you know, drawing and talking. That takes away a lot of time for focusing on the tattoo.
On the actual thing.
Which makes the session a little bit longer as well. Yeah. But it makes for a more relaxed tattoo. Mm-hmm. And most of the time when we're finished, we're going to feel like best friends. Because, like, I keep sharing, I can't help but, like, talk.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I'm a podcast host. This is what I do.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I just keep, like, rambling on. And then that opens up the client. And then we're just talking about life. And most of the time you get into really deep stuff because...
They're in pain.
Yeah, it's a very intimate process getting a tattoo, like, you know, and almost like a torture session. Like you do get a lot of information.
Stockholm syndrome. It's just like, I love you, Robert.
Pretty much. But it always ends with like a big, you know, bamsekram, like a huge hug.
Bamsa hug.
Yeah.
Bamsa hug.
Bamsa hug.
No, Bamsa hog.
Bamsa hog. But yeah, a bear hug, pretty much, and just like. You know, I'm always super stoked to see that smile when they leave. Yeah. And then I can start breathing again.
But I think that also creates a relationship that is a bit better between you and your client to make them like recurring, you know, like want to come back to you specifically.
So of course. That's
because you're giving something that I haven't seen a lot in. Because usually it's just like, oh, thanks. And then they just pack their stuff and then leave the room. Yeah. You know, and you're like, cool.
But I'm rambling on way too much.
I think this is good. And I think we're going to stick with the tattoo thing, and then we'll do mine on the next episode, I think. All right. Because, I mean, I think this is pretty fun, and...
I really hope it is interesting. Again, this is my normal day, so for me, this doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
No, but for me, for example, like I know most of this, except, you know, some specific stuff.
So You've been in that chair, bro.
But I've been in that chair. And for me, for example, like you could not have talked to me. And since my tattoo was at the location that it was and so small, it was just relaxing. Yeah. Like even when it hurt, like when it started, like first you feel the prickle, but then it disappears. And then after a while, it comes back, like that pain.
The endorphin sort of wears off. Yeah, because you do get like a little bit of an adrenaline kick.
Yeah, but I got sleepy though. Like at the end of it, I was really starting to like, holy shit, this is meditative. There's something, and it was the first one as well, so I think that might have helped.
So I will always, you know, go a little over and beyond to make sure you are as comfortable as possible. I'd rather have like a shit precision. Working condition
than to horrible
know. I know thing. It is, and it's not going to last. So again,
so get your tattoos really before Robert charges more and sits comfortably.
Exactly.
You don't want him to be comfortable.
No. So my clients always come first. Like it doesn't matter whatever it is. Like I don't eat, I don't sleep. I don't do anything.
But did you have, by the way, back to the throwing up and the tattooing people's skin? How did you like if we talk about the early days there, did you find ways of sort of countering your throw up feelings and your nervousness and everything else? Like how did you find tools to sort of work your way through that?
A few things happened. The stuff that I remember the best is advice from my tattoo master and my colleague. I see almost everybody in the shop as my master.
Yeah.
Like everybody chipped in and really, really helped me with everything, and they still do. So the first piece of advice I got was, if you're not nervous before a tattoo, you need to stop tattooing, like because then you've exceeded the time you should be tattooing for. Like you should be looking for something else, because you need to be nervous. It is something
you respect shit.
You
when you're
need
nervous,
to respect what you're doing. Again, it's gonna be on this person forever. And the second piece of advice I got was, you're not packing parachutes. Which is, it might sound ridiculous, but as soon as he said that, and that was Johan, as soon as he said it,
I was always going to say that it was you.
Yeah,
that's what I thought when I heard it.
I just felt this, like the weight off of my shoulders just like left. It was such an insane feeling, but that took me really from being super duper nervous, but still being okay with being nervous, to not being as nervous, because by that time, I'd already gotten some tattoos back and touched them up and fixed them, because everything, I dare to say almost everything is fixable. Yeah. You just need to be inventive enough. Like, if you are super creative, you can fix it. Yeah. But it might take a really long time. Sometimes it might not do, but just the one consultation. You might need to do 2 or 3 and really sit down and plan it together. And but the only limit is imagination, really. So, or that's at least my way of looking at tattoos. Obviously, sometimes it's probably not going to be fixable if it's really bold, black, and huge. Yeah.
I guess it gets sensitive. Like, the more precise, like drawing faces, for example, they're so easy to fuck up. Because once you put something like super skewed, like let's say you put the eye like too far down.
Yeah, then you had like the Toxic Avenger instead of...
Yeah, exactly. Like, this was my child before he became the Toxic Avenger.
I don't know what voice that was.
But it's just like some type of Chewbacca meets... cool stuff.
But yeah, so those 2 pieces of advice really helped me. And then I came to the realization that, every person that comes in, like, the feeling of getting your first tattoo is nerve-wracking as hell for the person getting it.
Yeah, they're as nervous.
It's such a big, huge step, because they are changing their lives forever, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hopefully not that much, but like, they're going to look different from that day on. And as soon as I realized that, it was also a bigger relief in a way, because I knew how nervous they were, which meant I didn't have to be that nervous. So it's
know more than they do.
Exactly. So that made me relax a bit. In the beginning, I was always getting nervous when they weren't nervous. Yeah. So that was always a line that I said, like, oh, shit, no, you need to get more nervous, because otherwise I'm going to get nervous.
Yeah. And they're like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
I'm not very good. And then they get nervous.
And poof, knocked it out of the park. Yeah. Whereas now it's a little bit
But I was
going to
say, like, what was your first tattoo, like, live on someone else? Not the shady shit you did before, but the actual.
My actual first tattoo.
Yeah, your first
ever.
like as a. I was gonna say
in the shop.
Yeah, in the shop.
Good question, man. I actually don't remember that. I think I was way too nervous to like register. I know it was something like simple, just like not lettering, but a symbol of some sort. I think it's probably. I might remember it incorrectly, but I think it was like a silhouette of a lion's head, like a very simple
is
logo.
That simple? I was just like, is that?
It's not
okay. More like a graphic.
Yeah, it's not that simple, but because it's solid black, it gives you a lot more room to fuck
make
up.
Mistakes. Yeah,
because you can just like.
How big was it? Like, let's say
it wasn't that big. It was maybe 5 times
make a circle
5
with your
exactly.
Yeah, make a circle
something
with
like
your
that. So and just on the upper arm. So that was like maybe my first or second tattoo in the shop, and the only hard part about something like that is filling it massive black and making that solid.
Oh shit!
Which
yeah,
is something
so-
that I'm still working on that. Like everybody I know is still working on trying to perfect that technique.
Yeah. Okay.
I've gotten really good at it now, but it's still,
It's not
needs a little-
perfect. Yeah,
and
exactly,
it
but
can
it's
always
better.
get better.
Yeah.
So that was one of the ones that I had to touch up. But when it came back, I was dreading seeing it because I was like, fuck, it's going to be so bad.
Oh yeah.
And then it came back and it looked good. Like it wasn't a lot that was needing to fix,
Mhm.
but I always say that, at the end of the session anyways, like if something happens to it or whatever,
yeah, exactly.
come back
Come
in,
back in.
I'll touch it up.
But did you ever feel like nervous that people were gonna contact you like the day after and then like, dude, this is shit. I've
Yep.
been looking at it and you just like fucked it up.
Yeah, yep. And I'm sure it's happened a couple of times too, but you tell them to come back in. Hopefully they want to.
Fix it?
Yeah, and you fix it.
Well, what has been like the let's say like what kind of things has it been that the color has sort of like
It's,
like disappeared?
yeah,
or
it's like
in area?
I was a little bit too careful in the beginning, so I didn't push it in consistently to the certain depth it needed to be.
Yeah.
So when it heals, it looks a little bit choppy,
Yeah.
almost like you're filling in with a marker that's running out of ink. So you get that sort of
that's I
shaded
see what
or,
you mean. Yeah,
you know.
you get like that texture sort
so
of.
skin
like,
shines through the color.
Exactly.
So it's a very easy fix. You
Mhm.
just push more ink in. It's harder to do the opposite. But yeah, but like I said, after I did one or two of those touch-ups and realized,
You can fucking fix that.
yeah, easy. And like Joanne said, I'm not packing parachutes. Like nobody is going to die if I fuck up.
Yeah.
It just,
Make a bigger silhouette on top of
yeah. And now I've done a couple of cover-ups and stuff too,
Yeah, you actually learn how to cover tattoos up. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all about that process.
We need to get a new chair. Sorry, man. But
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm farting every
The
time.
farty
Like
chair.
I have like my back is killing me, and I'm trying to adjust, and then just
But
goddamn
again,
it.
it's one of those things that you don't really hear
Yeah, maybe.
in the thing.
Then why did I say it out loud then?
I
Huh?
don't know.
Yeah.
I can amplify the fartiness. I will try to.
Every time I talk, like,
But yeah, so again, it's a very special field of work.
yeah.
It's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. If you're not really a people person, I wouldn't recommend getting into the work or the field, because I know a lot of artists and they're very socially awkward people. They do great work, but they don't have a lot of repeat customers because they're not friendly, or they are really nice, but they just don't come across as really
As
nice
very
people
nice,
because
yeah.
they're just quiet or shut in. When they work, they listen to music with headphones. They don't talk to their clients and stuff like that, which I feel is a little bit unprofessional in a way. But I also understand it because I've done the same
Yeah.
a couple of times. But it's always the client saying, do you mind if I listen to headphones? Like I prefer to just be in my head, but that allows me to listen to music.
To be in your head, yeah.
And as soon as I do that, it's not half the speed, but
it's faster.
it shaves
at
off
least,
a
yeah.
lot of time, and you get a lot more focused. So it's really something I should probably do more with bigger pieces, and maybe just be honest with the client and say, I really need to focus a lot here. So let's just you do
especially if you have clients coming in after. So then okay, we only have this amount of time to work on. So if you let me have headphones on and focus, disappear mentally, I can get this done today. Hopefully,
and that's something that I think we just brushed over it. But your question about doing multiple,
exactly.
So if I know that I have 3 tattoos, I have to be openly honest with every piece of meat walking into my door. You have to tell them that, all right, so we only have this amount of time.
Yeah.
I'll try to finish it as much as I can, but
No
just
promises,
have it in your head that we might need to book in another hour, another day, because I have this and this client coming in at that time. And if I have that, I'm not eating lunch. I'm not, and this is because I'm a little bit too nice. I should eat lunch, because I need to eat and have energy to do the tattoos. But I feel guilty taking a break.
Yeah,
Because,
I feel you.
Yeah, I just want to do good work. But yeah, it's all about honesty and just telling them that, okay, we might have to cut it short or whatever. And that's how you do it. But if you plan it, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to say, this is going to take 3 hours, and it will take 3 hours. But with that said, you can never predict the skin. You can never predict the person. Some people might like flinch every time the needle touches the skin.
That is horrible.
And you're like supposed to do this very intricate line work thing. So like imagine being in an off-road Jeep trying to draw
The perfect
a straight
circle.
line
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a perfect circle. Exactly.
Terrible.
With a vibrating pen, nonetheless.
Oh shit! Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Just like, how does your hand like? How do you?
The machines I'm using now are very, very. They're not super vibraty. Like
Okay, yeah.
the first ones I used were horrible. I could tattoo maybe 5-6 hours with them, and then my hand would go numb.
Oh shit!
That's how much they vibrated, and I would get like big blisters and like because they get very hot.
Oh
and,
really?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
like the old school coil machines that you use with the long needles, you know. So I was never really comfortable working with those, but then I switched to the cartridge machines that I'm using from Cheyenne Tattoo Equipment. Shout out. I think they do the best sort of machines out there today. There's actually another brand that I really want to get into called Scorpion, and they're a Swedish brand.
Oh.
And they do battery-driven machines, so it's
charge them, or?
cordless. Yeah. So it's like, just a loose pen that you're working with.
How is the weight of that little thing at the top of your pen? Like the.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
The one I have now, it's nothing. And
Okay.
It's a little bit more clunky than my previous machine, but it's a lot lighter. I don't know what it's made of, but
magic.
Yeah, probably. But it's. Yeah, I did mention the new machine.
Last time, yeah.
Yeah, and I've used it a lot more now, and it's awesome. Like, now I'm really understanding how it works, and it's, like, compared to the old one, it's so good. It's, oh, man. It just got me so much more excited for doing more tattoos because now I'm like, holy shit, these lines look awesome. And, like, I know when to switch in between the different things.
And it's specific needles for specific machines, or can they take like a variety of?
So no, if you have a rotary machine that takes cartridges, it should be able to take all the different styles of cartridges that are available. Some are really expensive, some are.
That's what you have,
cheaper.
right? You have cartridges.
Exactly.
Now.
So it's like a little, almost looks like a plastic bullet, and you have a smaller needle in that plastic bullet, and you just sort of click it in into the machine. And the coolest thing about it is that you don't have to reset the machine like you would the old school machines. So I have one of those machines still, which is really, really, really good. It's called a Dan Kuban Sidewinder, and it's, if I wanted to change needle with that one, it would probably take me 10-15 minutes to just get it all like disassembled and put it back in and get everything right. Whereas we're talking 1 or 2 seconds with the cartridge. It's just like click, 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 and it's changed. And you can have the machine running while you change cartridges. So you have the full array of every single needle out there just ready to switch just like that. So it just makes for such a smooth, easy work
just like
workflow,
seamless.
I guess. It's, if that machine hadn't been available, I probably wouldn't have loved tattooing as much because it just made the process so much simpler.
So much, yeah.
And because it's not just that, it's very, very convenient, but it's also a lot lighter and it doesn't vibrate as hard, like I said. So it's, it's just like, really like a vibrator. If you've ever held a vibrator in your hand, that's sort of, if you have it on the low setting, we're getting dirty here, But that's sort of
like
the
that's
amount
the worst
of
thing we've said.
Yeah. But that's sort of the amount of vibration you're talking. Like, so sometimes it could, like, you get that numb feeling, but you do need some breaks in between because your back is gonna get fucked.
So before we leave this whole thing and move on, what are the ergonomic sort of disadvantages of doing tattoos? You know, like, because you don't always sit the best because of the body.
I would argue you never sit the best. That's always something that you learn after you hurt yourself. The good thing about me is that I already had hurt myself. So
I was already broken.
So yeah, to me I came into the business knowing that my back was already fucked. And from drawing so much, you know, prior to becoming a tattoo artist, I sort of know how to sit, and like I think I activate my back a lot more than other people. Like if I have a nice sort of, I don't know, the groove in my couch that I love sitting in, I'm still gonna be changing it up a bit. Just because my back needs to. Otherwise, I'll be fucked for a week.
You're a power bottom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Of course.
Of course I'm a power bottom.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know what that is, Google it. But not at work.
Please. Or send it to your boss. But yeah, so obviously try to think about sitting up straight and, you know, don't do it the way I do it because, like I said, I prioritize my client in front of my own back. You should do it the opposite way. So you should try to get your client in a position where you feel the most relaxed and easy to work position that you can get into. So that would be probably laying the person down on your bed or whatever you're working with, raising them up as high up as you can get if you need to be standing or sitting or, you know, all of that stuff. And don't be afraid to switch up the client every once in a while because, you know, they're not loving being in that same position for hours and hours on end anyways. So if you know that we need to flip you over and twist your arm around the other way, they're probably going to be happy at that point. So,
and I think if you are socially awkward there are reasons for you to do so. Tell them, like, to get the best result in tattooing you, I'm going to turn you around. We'll flip you around a bit. It'll be nice for you to change positions. You talk them through it. Yeah. Because you're the pro here. Exactly. So if you can do a better job by flipping them around like a burger, you do that. You have to. You have to, yeah. Don't be nice.
And not a single client is going to argue with you.
No.
Never. Because they want a good-looking tattoo. And they would rather sit uncomfortably for like 1 or 2 hours than walk away with a shitty tattoo, but they've had like a nice nap. Like Ilias
exactly. It was very good. But you tattooed me like on the shoulder blade, or not the collarbone.
Yeah. Easy spot.
Yeah, easy spot.
You actually had really good skin. It's held up nicely. It was super easy to get in. Yeah. Always sounds dirty.
I was like, what?
But you can't
talk about... What did you do to me, dude?
You can't talk about tattoos without penetration, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's horrible. But the last thing I can say, and it's a little bit of a sideways rant, I don't know. But when I realized that this was what I was meant to be doing was after a dream I had where I woke up. You know, you have one of those sort of lucid dreams where you can control yourself. Like, you know you're awake, but you're still in the dream.
Yeah, definitely.
So I had that, and we were back in high school in Nibble. And that was like the fork in the road of my life where I could go this way or go the tattoo way. Several other ways to go. Like, every option in my life was open to me, and I could see it. But every one of those roads led to tattoos. Like, I could sort of see almost Doctor Strange in Endgame, you know, when he sees all of the outcomes.
All of the outcomes.
And every one of those roads led to tattoos.
Except one. No,
all of them. Which just, when I woke up after that, it was just like, I just knew that, okay, I'm in it until I can't anymore. And with that said, I will never stop. I love this job.
Never stop? Never stopping. Remember, always be a...
superstar. I don't know.
No, that animal.
What? Oh, yeah, the honey badger.
Honey badger.
Honey badger.
Honey badger.
Like, what? Be a what? Yeah.
You ruined
yeah,
it.
be a
You
honey
ruined
badger or go froze another bitch. Boom. So yeah, I really hope that made sense. If you have any questions, really don't hesitate to reach out. Easiest way to get a hold of me is through my Instagram, Tattoos by Rob. Otherwise, the Sketchbook Heroes Instagram or the email hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
And that's hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about my job, but fuck that shit because we've already podcasted for 1.5. And Robert really gave you all the info, all the juicy bits about his throwing up and tattooing and shit. So that was awesome. It was fun for me as well because it feels like I'm listening to the podcast while it's happening.
Oh.
So I'm not going to tell you shit about my job. And we're just going to move on to tools.
Yeah.
And let's have that little thing that we do.
Yeah, let's do that. The switchy. Yeah, clickety-click. And we're back.
Yeah, and it's time for tools.
Toolies.
The place where we talk about stuff that we use, and I haven't used shit. Go, Robert.
Yay, let's
Talk some more. Well, you are the fancy watercolor guy.
You keep farting and I'll keep talking.
Yeah, holy shit, this chair.
All right, so I don't have any gigantic new tools, but I am drawing again, thankfully. Also painting a little bit. So that's what I wanted to talk about now. I have acquired a new sketchbook, and it's an A5 Leuchtturm, or lovely.
Have we ever mentioned Leuchtturm?
No, never.
We haven't?
I don't think so, no.
What is the number?
1917.
That was it.
Yes.
1917? Is that it?
That's
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a 180-gram paper in this one, which is...
Yeah, because a lot of you, or know some of you, especially Marlene, you bought the sketchbook on our recommendation, and I think at the time that we said the 180-gram paper...
It was maybe too late, or what?
No, she bought the thin papered one, and she's not the only one. And then Thomas, that helped us out with the event, also bought, or he got it for his birthday, but they also bought the thin paper.
One.
Yeah.
All right.
So always remember, 180 GSM or whatever the fuck it is.
Grams.
Grams.
For the gram. But I mean, with that one, you can punish the book a lot more. Like it takes a good beating, and it does...
But did you paint watercolor in that?
Yes.
Because mine does not take water
it's
well.
definitely getting fucked up. I wanted to get to that.
Yeah,
but
okay, cool.
like with Copics and stuff, I could... Well, if you use them fairly quickly, it doesn't bleed through the paper. So that's why I love them so much. Plus, the bright colors on the outside. It's always good. It's like Happy Socks, but books.
Yeah.
Shout out Anna.
Happy Book Socks.
So yeah, the thing that I'm doing now, the new thing that made me want to create more again is watercolor stuff that I got from Kina Tornquist, who was here at the event.
That's something I wanted to say as well.
Say something.
I don't know. It was
Say
just,
it!
But at the end of the event, when everyone had left, there was William Poker, Mimi, Kina Turnquist, and you and me, Anna, and Max, and...
Fabian.
Yeah, but he was working.
I was chatting with him.
Yeah, I know you did. And then we had Kina's friend that I don't remember the name. But she was awesome.
She was, actually,
and
really
sorry
awesome.
for forgetting your name, because I don't remember shit.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't remember.
But
I feel so bad.
we have a small cinema at Underverket, which is one of my favorite parts of this fucking place.
100%.
And we were watching this girl's, like the one we can't remember the name of.
Her neighbor's
music videos, because that shit was awesome.
That was so, yeah.
Yeah.
That was next level. And just the fact that it was her neighbor
yeah,
made it so much better.
She's like super into calling herself Barbie and pink shit, and
apparently she's like super diva-esque about it. So she doesn't like say hi to her neighbors, and like it's a proper bitch. But it just made it so much more fun.
It was super fun. And Matthias, oh shit, we forgot Matthias. Because Matthias did something, like all the snacks at the event, we went all vegan because we didn't want to sort of like
Offend anybody.
No, but the thing is, we just wanted everyone to be able to eat shit
Exactly.
without having to ask if it's vegan or whatever.
Exactly.
So we got everything vegan, but Matthias had brought shit because he wasn't aware.
Nope.
And he brought like some salami shit,
Salami,
and
cheese, olives. and
yeah,
bread.
like baguette and shit.
Like
And
super fancy.
we told him like, no, you have to put that away, like for now. And then by the end, we were all starving, super tired, and we sat in the cinema and we brought all that shit out, the ones that were left, and we just sat there,
Watched those stupid
stupid music videos, and just
had a great time.
that was such
It's
a
such a great way
great
to round up
wrap it up,
or
right?
Wrap up.
And the best thing
evening.
that Kina came all the way from fucking Gothenburg to meet us.
Malmö.
That's what I meant. Fuck it.
So even further away
Even further down.
from Skåne.
That is it.
so cool. And for those of you who don't know, she
yeah.
is actually kind of my boss a little bit. So I do some extra work with comic book magazine, and she is the editor of the magazine.
Yeah, Modesty Blaze.
Modesty Blaze, Agent X9. So I do the covers for some of those. And I'm hoping to get her in talking here in the
Yeah.
future at some point.
Yeah,
because-
she's an urban sketcher,
which is really awesome.
and she's awesome.
good.
And we might even try to use that image at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we
Because
should.
that was super good for the event.
And she just fucking nailed the logo as well. Like it was so cool.
I know. But I think if Underverket doesn't buy it, we should do something and buy it.
Yeah, we
Because
should.
it was really good.
It was so good.
It sort of wraps up the event somehow. I don't know.
So much life in her work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Shit, yeah.
going
but-
back to the tools, how she inspired me is because she works with watercolor. So I felt like I wanted to do something new, and then I had this new sketchbook, and I was like, well, fuck the whole doing the first page the best thing ever. I'm just going to go nuts with it. So I started sketching a skull, and I didn't really feel it. So I brought out my watercolors and sort of just went nuts over it. So what I'm doing now, speaking of the tools, is I'm using red and blue pencils. So I'm sketching it out with red first and then defining the shapes with blue. But in between the blue and the red, I go watercolor. So first red, then block in some shapes with watercolor, and then fine line with blue. And that's my new sort of thing for this book. So I'll try to keep doing that whenever I have some time. And just see how far I can push that.
But do you mean like you're going to use the same technique sort of and then just keep altering it just a little with every piece you make?
Draw
or-
whatever I want, but
yeah,
with
exactly.
that medium.
With that medium. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So today I never remember this character, but it's from Solo, a Star Wars story. Not Kanata, but like the cool sort of Boba Fett-ish character of that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
With the cool
Yeah,
helmet,
yeah.
with the spiky things coming out in the back.
Shit, what was,
It's
I've only seen it once, so I don't.
I only
yeah.
like I googled it this morning when I drew it, and I still don't remember. But everybody knows the cool helmet character from this from the Solo movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it, or no, don't.
It was okay.
It was all right. It's a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really need to see
I didn't need
Han
any
Solo's
of that. Yeah.
backstory. Like,
Neither did I.
I preferred not knowing more, I guess.
Yeah, I did not need to know anything about the Kessel Run or the parsecs that
No.
he ran it on, or just like I didn't
Exactly.
need any of it. It was
No.
all in my head. It was all fine.
And it was kind of nice to see how Han and Chewie met, but it wasn't necessary.
No.
Anyways, I drew that character today. So it was like more of a portrait study that I normally do, but all with the same type of style. So we'll see what it comes out of it. I don't know. Hopefully something really new. But at the moment, it's a lot of fun. It's a kind of a quick process too, because I'm not really putting any effort into it.
Yeah.
Like it becomes what it is.
And if it fails, who cares?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But it does fuck up the Leuchtturm because it is
Yeah, it
watercolor and it
does,
gets
yeah.
very squiggly. But
Like that paper does not handle my black inks as well.
because it's
'cause
too
they're-
wet. Or
Yeah, exactly. So it starts like I can do one pass, but as soon as I go over it like twice,
Starts to
it starts to
Squiggle
like
or
it
whatever.
starts to like how do you call it? Like the paper starts like
Dissolving?
dissolving. Yeah, exactly. You
okay.
start like
Disintegrating.
disintegrate the paper. Yeah, it's just ruining it.
So I don't get that with the watercolor, but
Okay.
it does make like the whole paper very wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
But like I kind of want that now, so I want the whole book to become super.
Yeah,
You can see
like,
that it's super.
it's
worked
blown
with.
up because
Yeah.
of the water. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
I think the mythograph or whatever the fuck he's called on Instagram, something like that. He does that. He has like this flimsy paper. He watercolors it, and the whole book is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But his sketches are fucking awesome.
Everybody else's sketches are fucking awesome.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everyone else's work is better
Yeah.
because it's not yours.
No. But that was just so the tool I guess is the watercolor edition.
What watercolors were they?
So this is from Winsor and Newton.
Oh, nice.
It's like I got this from I think my auntie
Oh, like years ago, yeah.
a long time ago, and just sort of
Mhm.
recently started using them.
Cool.
But they're good quality watercolors or
Mhm.
aquarelle.
I don't know if I have that.
No. And some proper brushes,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty important when you're working with watercolors. If you have the cheaper ones, they're not going to hold the color as long as you might want them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I've never had that experience. Like, I usually don't buy super expensive brushes, but I don't know. Like, I just need it. As long as they keep their shape, I'm fine with taking extra color.
Mm.
But I draw small as well, so I don't need them to hold color for that long.
It's more because sometimes, or for me at least, I don't sort of mix up a huge chunk of color. I mix it up in the palette as the colors lay.
Mm-hmm.
So once I run out, I need to mix that exact amount,
Yeah.
you know. So the better the brush,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
longer
I
the
get-
color is going to last, and you could do a one pass and get it all in.
and get it all in. I usually
So-
mix my colors in the lid, depending on because I have both liquid, sort of like tubes with watercolor, and I have those, like the aquarelles. Yeah, people are howling outside. I don't know what's happening. It's like a door opening and closing,
Oh, okay.
like the metal big doors.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, it
is
sounds
somebody
like
in here?
horror, right? Like,
Because I just saw The Purge
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
I'm like, it's happening.
Yeah, but I have both, and I have this little, like, I think it's a Winsor and Newton box. It's like super small. It's like a palm.
Yep.
Not counting the fingers, just the palm. And it's like this little cabinet. You open it up, and it's just for pouring color in the little slots.
Yep.
And you can let that dry up. And you can have this little, like, spray bottle if you want. And you can just, like, spray it on top of them when you
smart.
bring it with you. So they dry up so they don't pour around, like, they don't,
Yeah. They
move
don't-
all over.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
that's
can, like,
smart.
just wet them and then just sort of
So you
paint.
can keep reusing it.
Yeah, you can just bring them with wherever.
Because that's what I sort of had in Australia for
Yeah.
school. Was one of those because I got the really cheap watercolors.
Yeah.
But I did like that. I threw it all away when I moved back home. But
You didn't give it away? You just threw it.
I just fucking threw it. I was gonna bring it home, but then I was like, this is like the cheapest shit. Like I couldn't even give it away.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, I threw it away. But I might actually invest in something like that later on if I keep working with the watercolor stuff and evolve it. But right now it's just, to add a little extra thing to
Whatever.
something
Yeah,
that
there's
I
no
do
prestige
normally.
right now. Yeah.
But if you want to do some really cool just sketches, I would definitely recommend just working with the two different types of color pencil, or if you could get the mechanical ones with color, which I use from Pilot. I definitely recommend them. It just gives a sketch like a more, I don't know if I would say professional look, but it gives it more depth. It makes it look cooler in a way. You have red as like the messy, breaking out the big shapes, and then blue to sort of start sculpting and making it fine. Yeah, I just like the way it looks. Feels very sort of Disney animation sketch style.
So that was everything on tools. No, no, I have nothing really. Since it's Inktober, I'm just gonna stick to that.
Do it. You can do it, bro.
Oh, by the way, I have a new tool.
What?
Fucking yes. Before the event last week, we went to Maton, which is an art store or has pretty much everything you might need.
Yes.
But I bought an even wider Pilot parallel pen.
So you should be able to draw faster.
So even fatter. I can draw fatter. The tip is it like twice as big as the previous one? So it...
I haven't seen them next to each other.
fuck it. It's super wide. Like it's almost not a centimeter, but just slightly less than that, which is a lot of fucking tip. And it's way harder to draw with. You blotch out so much more like black.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, fuck, did not intend to do that.
But that'll be perfect for the bigger pieces.
That's exactly what it is for. It's super good when I'm trying to cover, because I had problems with rocks, like big, ginormous sort of rocks. And now it's become easier to fill them with black because this one is wider.
Awesome.
But super terrible when I'm trying to draw Link and it's just...
You switch pens. This is good.
Yeah, but I got lazy, so I didn't want to because the other one ran out of ink and I haven't changed.
You bought new inks.
Fuck you. I also have new ink. There's no difference from the old one. But it does work, and I love them. So Pilot parallel pens, not sponsored, you sons of bitches.
So, fuck it.
As much
Honey
as
badger.
Honey badger, motherfucker.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're really looking into options right now, what we can and can't do. And we're in pretty much we've talked to Adobe, Wacom now, Pen Store. And if you guys know anyone that wants to collaborate with the podcast, sponsor an episode.
Like
or
21 Draw, for example.
Or 21 Draw, which I think... But that collaboration is something bigger than episode sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's more like a family. We're taking two businesses and sort of merging them in everything but, paperwork.
It's like Spider-Man with the symbiote.
Exactly. We're just becoming,
something more awesomer.
Yeah. And I think I personally... What I love about 21 Draw is the people behind it. And I personally look forward to see what we can do in the future. Right now, everything is a bit up in the air. Everyone's super unorganized. They are, we are. But I think we just need to get some time to figure out what we want to do together and
take it from there.
Yeah. But until then as well, we're always open to collaborate with others. So if you know someone that feels relevant, from Claes Olsson to, any,
local brewery.
A local, it doesn't matter as long as it sort of is in the ballpark of what we do. Or can be used to, for inspiration. Because I was thinking, the place where I ordered my business cards, the Moo company from the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Those are awesome. Adobe are awesome. And we're already I'm in talks with different companies to see what we can do, what they can offer us, what we can offer them. And just take it from there. I'm so excited about all of it. You just need the time to, go through them one by one.
Yeah.
See what we want to do.
And it's exciting times. I don't know what else to say about it.
No. I would just say that
we're an open book.
Yeah.
And
we're pretty honest with most of the things that we do. So if you're a listener and you have something that you think could go together with the Sketchbook Heroes concept, always feel free to reach out. You don't have to have an idea of we could do this together. But I think if you think there is a potential of us working together somehow.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to just sort of tell different companies or whatever, if you're working somewhere, to listen to the podcast. If you have any sort of, if you think we could work together with them, you could
just give them a disclaimer that we're very explicit sometimes.
Yes.
Just a heads up.
Don't
want to give anyone with a pacemaker a heart attack.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next segment of the Sketchbook Heroes podcast. Let's go!
Get to the retro!
Get to the chopper, Robert.
Retro. Retro!
Yeah, we're back for the retro on this epic episode of the Sketchbook Heroes.
Hello!
Hello!
Retro!
5 people that are still left. Everyone's a little racist.
It's a hetero.
A racist. Okay, that was not what I. That was more like I don't know. I was trying to be like a bit Christmassy, you know, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
And I just got
Ho,
really
and then,
homophobic.
yeah. Homophobic? No. Ho.
Yeah.
Just,
Halloween and retro became hetero.
And this is shit that I mentioned before. Like this is the kind of
sketchbook hetero.
we're just running with the puns, and then you end up in no territory.
Unfiltered land.
Unfiltered land.
So retro, yes. So
Yes.
because it's just been Halloween, we thought, why not do like a little horror segment of the retro?
Tales from the Crypt.
For example.
That was terrible.
But
Garbage.
no. But we can keep it fairly quick this time instead of doing
I hate
the
scary movies. Goodbye.
Spider-Verse. We're not doing a Spider-Verse repeat.
Well, why? I watched it this Saturday.
Yeah, you
no,
did.
Sunday. Sorry, Sunday. I rewatched it because I thought that the previous weekend that I watched it wasn't enough. So
There
I
you go.
rewatched it again.
Still as good?
And I need to tell you that watching it for the 135th time, still pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. So I really recommend you watching that one.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Fantastic.
Worse. I was just into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Worse.
God damn it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk horror movies, really.
Yes, he did, because I haven't seen. I backtracked back to the last horror movie that I remember seeing.
Which was it?
2004. The Grudge was the last one I saw before I flipped the table on that bullshit. I can't watch scary movies anymore. They're shit.
The Grudge ruined scary movies for Ilias.
Yeah,
forever.
the U.S. remake, of course, not the Japanese one, because
Of course.
I don't think I've seen it.
That's actually pretty good. Well, like, it's okay. It's on the same level as the American Ring, I would say.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed the Japanese one. I don't even remember the American one. I know I've seen it,
okay,
but I
yeah.
just don't remember it.
Because the thing with the Grudge is that at
Unforgettable.
some point they're all in that house, whatever the fuck it was, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then this like boy covered in flour comes out and just like,
He'd been antiqued.
yeah, I could have just kicked his ass. No, it's just like it pissed me off. It was so bad. I
You
just
shut your
can't.
mouth when you're
Yeah,
growling
when
to
you're
me.
when you're to me. Nah, it wasn't scary. It's just like
No.
when they fail to, I think like psychological thrillers with that sort of like where they try to scare you and make you feel uncomfortable, that works.
Yes.
But when they try to like jump scare you with like kids rolled in flour, what the fuck? Like I don't know why that didn't work for me. I just like, bitch, get the fuck out of here! Just slap that kid in the face.
Get back into the oven. You're not done.
And I don't remember if the kid came out of the wall or whatever the fuck it was. It was just like, go back in the wall, motherfucker.
I don't think they came out of
Yeah.
anything. They just
But they
sort of
just
stood
appeared?
somewhere,
Okay,
like,
okay. And then like,
and started walking down steps.
Yeah, that shit. Like, not scary. Exactly. Was there more than the kid? Like, I don't
It was
remember shit.
a woman too.
Was it a woman too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was like a brother and sister, maybe, or mother
I
or
don't
son,
remember.
something.
Or maybe just like a terrible producer and that shitty movie. I don't know.
100%.
That was probably it.
Yeah.
Like, funding. No.
But yeah, Japanese Grudge, a lot better for sure. I mean, all of those American remakes of the Japanese versions are pretty shit. Like I said, except for The Ring, which I think is okay.
Ringu.
But the other one, like the original Japanese ones, are a lot of them are pretty fucking terrifying. Like, I've always thought like the Japanese horror movies are a little bit creepier than American horror ones.
No, but that's just because Japanese plots are so fucking weird. You
Yes,
don't
of
understand
course.
what's going on. And with not understanding comes fear.
I guess.
Like racism.
Yes.
Dumb people who don't understand shit are afraid.
It is. It actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Message. Yeah, so I watch scary movies all the time. Like I said, I just watched The Purge yesterday. I don't know if it qualifies as a scary movie in that way, but it was like I've only seen the first one, which was the one I saw yesterday. But but the concept of it was pretty
Purgy.
terrifying.
Purge.
Yeah, because you'd think like the idea is very straightforward. It's like one day a year they get to kill each other and do whatever the fuck they want. But they in the movie it was very
But do you mean like in a town they get to kill each other?
the whole of America
Oh shit!
to stay like
So
to
one
keep
night they
peace.
get to keep. Okay,
And it just-
I've read about this in a book.
Yeah.
where they sort of have the same thing. I don't know if they call it the purge, but they had the same thing. Fuck was the name of that book?
I'm sure the book inspired the movie or the movie series now.
Oh no, but that was just like that's the thing. The book, that was just a small chapter in that sort of that book. You know, like
Oh,
a part
okay.
of. So it's not about that, but they end up in a place where that happens. Every year they lock all the children in a cellar, and then the grown-ups go outside
And just fuck each
and
other
they
up.
go mental. Like everyone just loses their marbles.
That sounds
and-
so familiar.
Exactly. I can't place it for shit.
No.
So if any one of you knows, just reach out to hello@sketchbookheroes.com.
Yeah,
But they all go batshit, and then everyone just like they have baseball bats and they smash each other in the face and shit. And then the next day they just clean all traces before they release everyone, and it's all over.
Yeah. I mean, that's the purge, pretty much.
But I guess the
Um,
purge is a bit more splattery, maybe. I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
that splattery. Actually, it was.
I have no idea. I
um,
haven't seen it. I didn't even know that was what it was about. So.
It was, I think just like one scene that was like a little bit, not even gory in that sense, but like
Brutal.
that you saw more like a stabby stab thing.
Mhm.
But the concept of it was made very horrifying in the movie,
Mhm.
which surprised me because I was like, this is going to be a shit movie, but I've always wanted to see it.
Mhm.
But it surprised me. I liked it. It was actually pretty decent. Ethan Hawke in it.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
He's done like 2 movies in 10 years.
yeah, and pretty much both of them scary movies. So he did that, and he did Sinister, the first Sinister movie,
Don't
which
even
is
know what that is.
that's really good though.
I'm gonna look up a movie that we watched as kids that I can't think of the name of.
Critters.
No, the guy from Jurassic Park was in it.
Oh, the one with Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, thank you. That was the name I was
Um,
looking for. Sam Neill.
I think you're thinking of the John Carpenter one.
Yes,
with-
with the
which is-
writer.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very huge homage to H.P. Lovecraft, actually, and it's
But that was
called-
fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
dude.
it's such a twisted movie. I've wanted to see that again for a really long time.
Yeah, but
and
I just haven't had the heart
no.
to rewatch it, and I don't know if
I
it's
haven't
gonna
found
live
it
up.
anywhere. But I need. That's good that you said that. Actually,
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
to add it to the buy list.
Dude, it's one of those movies where
Fuck is it
I
called?
still feel uncomfortable thinking about
Mhm.
it because it just ends terribly.
And it goes in and out of like you don't know if it's real or not real. Like
Exactly.
he goes into a book. So it's
No,
it's sort
they're
of
on
a-
their way to this place.
They're trying to find this writer, this really big writer who's kind
yeah,
of Stephen
exactly
King.
that.
I know it's based off of a Stephen King book also. Like it's Stephen King and H.P. Lovecraft-ish.
Is it?
That was like the big inspiration for the movie. You could, if you go to Ryan Hollinger on YouTube, he has a great 20-minute clip about this movie where it really goes into the backstory of it and like how they
Oh,
created
shit, really?
it.
What the hell? When did this come? Oh shit, these are okay.
It's because I think it's based off of a
It's
book
like early
like The Mountains.
90s, right?
The Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft, I think, inspired most of it. But it's like an Inception horror story.
But it's after Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, it is, I think.
So
or maybe
you-
just before. Because it's kind of an old movie.
In the Mouth of Madness.
No, that's the book it was based off of, not the movie.
Really? Because this is the movie, and it's called In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, The Mouth of Madness.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is fucking
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So in the mountains.
I
of
skräckens
Madness.
skugga in Swedish.
Okay.
I don't remember that at all. Like fuck that shit. Yeah, John Carpenter
Mm-hmm.
directed it. Oh, that's a user review. I thought it was a synopsis. But
Mhm.
yeah, this movie fucking, dude,
In
It-
the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness.
have to
Wow,
remember
that is a mouthful.
Yeah, but that's Sam Neill. I mean, he's awesome in pretty much everything he does, really.
But what was your idea of talking about scary movies today? Because
I just wanted to sort of do a little,
because you love them and I hate them.
yeah, it was more like just talking about scary movies. I didn't
Yeah.
know this was going to go on for as long as we have done, but because I know how little scary movies you watch, I wanted to know which, if any, has like left any marks.
Shit, the
in your
rating
brain.
on this is pretty high, like 7.2 out of 10.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
But it bombed when it came. Like nobody saw it when
Except
it
you
came out.
and me, apparently.
And then it came out on VHS and it blew up. Like that's where it found its following, and it's become a very big cult classic.
Let's see. Plot. Okay, so this is... In the midst of an unspecified disaster, Dr. Wren visits John Trent, a patient in a psychiatric hospital, and Trent recounts his history. Trent, a freelance insurance... Oh my god, okay, fuck this shit. This is super long. It's just like... I just needed like the
Just give me the
basic
plot.
Yeah, it's just like the
Elevator
whole-
pitch. Come
Yeah,
on.
there was no elevator pitch, but this movie, I don't know what, but the because this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want from a scary movie, because this movie wasn't all about killing shit and doing things, but it left you
Uneasy.
uneasy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just felt madness because people were reading the book and their eyes were bleeding, you know, and
Exactly.
everyone was going bananas.
And yeah, they're killing each other for the books.
For
and
the
shit.
books
Yeah.
and shit, yeah. And there are monsters and shit in it, but that's not what it's about.
No,
It's just more about madness rather
It is.
than the...
I think, like, and this, I don't think Ryan, the guy I told you about, talks about this, but I think the movie really is a metaphor for a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
Like,
I
kind
think
of.
so too.
The-
I think so too. I think it is more about
Like-
that, but I need to rewatch it
Yeah.
to sort of be certain, but I don't know if I want to.
I really do, because it's not that horrifying if I remember correctly. Because it's John Carpenter as well. Like he doesn't do very gory type of.
No,
horror
I don't think
movies.
that was. I just think the unease of
Uneasy.
it. Yeah.
Uh,
Because just like movies with a lot of gore and shit, it becomes a bit comic.
yeah,
Because they always go a bit overboard, so it's not even like scary anymore.
No.
Like when someone punches someone's head, you know, and it flies off and shit like that.
Jason
Like,
8.
It's but that's what I mean.
Jason
just
goes
like
to
it's just Jason goes to space and has a snack. No, but
I
it
wanna see
just
that
becomes
again.
silly, you know, like
Yeah.
because I remember the first Jason Voorhees movies, like Friday the 13th.
Mm-mm.
They were scary because I don't know.
It was
they
a
were
proper horror movie back then.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
The first
and then,
one.
yeah, exactly.
The second one was still kind of horror-esque, but it introduced Jason. And then after
Yeah.
that, he became sort of the symbol of the whole franchise.
Yeah,
And now you just want to see him kill shit. you
yeah.
know? Same with the Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's just the character, and you want to see him in like gory situations. Whereas the first movie was more, psychological terror,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Aliens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a big leap from a horror movie to
Yeah,
more of an
to,
action thriller.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all of this.
But I liked that anyway
But
because
they were both amazing
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
I mean, even the third one, I
the
think,
third
gets
one
a bad
is
rep.
it
but,
gets a bad rep because you compare it to the other two.
but it's
But I
grown on
think
me.
like
for
I
sure.
know, but I think the first to third one are solid.
Yeah.
In their own way.
Yeah,
Like starting from the horror type and then sort of where the second one is more of a mix of the first and second, like
yeah. The third
or I mean
one,
the first and third.
yeah, yeah.
And then the third one is more of, like it has a bit of two in it, but it's more of sort of like, because time passes, people change, the people that direct it change, like
but
the times changed. They had more money to try new stuff, and without them doing that shit, there was tons of movies after that you wouldn't have gotten.
Of course.
If they didn't fucking push the envelope. And then I don't like any of the other aliens that came after.
No,
But,
but I love all the alien ones. Like, if there's an alien in a movie, I'm probably gonna like it.
the xenomorphs are cool.
Yes. Yeah, I did like the most recent one, the Covenant one.
Didn't see it.
Um,
I saw the one with Magneto.
that's one. I mean,
The
Prometheus.
first, Prometheus,
and-
that was it. Yeah. Magneto, that was like
Magneto.
what the hell is his name?
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender, that's it.
He's
Cool.
married to Alicia Vikander, and they're having a baby now. There you go. Yeah, so I was hoping to dive into more retro-esque type horror movie stuff.
Mhm.
Like, my brain it's kept The Critters in there since I bought the latest movie, and I still haven't seen it.
But that's a Kickstarter movie, I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know
I
either,
really
like-
don't know anything about that one, other than I haven't seen it, and it's like a new one from
because
just
the
a couple
cool
of years.
thing
back.
about Critters is that even Leonardo DiCaprio had like one of his first roles
Yeah,
in
that was
one of
his.
these movies.
I think it was his first movie,
yeah.
but it was like
He was
young.
super young, yeah. So it was nothing he brags about.
No.
But it's a pretty cool thing when you watch him as a grown-up and you see these old actors in him. That's pretty sweet.
But I remember loving those movies.
Dude, I loved everything. Like when I was a
It's
kid,
such a-
if there were monsters in the movie, I would have fucking rented them.
Speaking of monsters,
Yeah.
one movie that I really miss and want to see, like now, Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember Monster Squad.
You know who did it?
No. Who the fuck
Um,
directed it? I didn't care about shit like that when I was a kid.
What's his face?
Monster Squad.
Who made the latest Predator and the
Oh,
Nice
shit,
Guys,
I
Kiss Kiss
haven't.
Bang Bang?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? Oh, should I? That's one of the
The
few
guy-
movies that I own.
Exactly.
Yeah, shit.
Shane O'Neill? No, Shane. What's his name?
Oh,
But yeah, that guy.
yeah. But Monster Squad is the one with Frankenstein and Dracula, right? And
Yeah,
all that shit.
exactly.
Yeah, because I was going to watch it with my kids, but I had to screen it just quickly on YouTube before I did. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this one is just a tad too scary for like a... Because
No,
my
it's
daughter
not.
was... Because my daughter was... Yeah, she was like 7 and he was younger. That's
Just show it anyways.
because no, we've watched some old ones. Like Goonies is pretty scary, even though you like as soon as they meet the bandits, shit goes dark,
Oh yeah,
and they fucking curse and are super mean, and it's
they're
dark
about to kill
shit,
those
yeah.
kids. Like,
So we do watch. Like I watched Gremlins with my daughter when she was 4 or 5. Too early,
yeah.
and nothing happens in Gremlins 1. I think the mom gets scratched in the face, and she has these like shallow wounds on her cheek, and then the gremlin gets demolished in the blender. That's all the blood there is in this movie. Like the mom gets scratched.
That's
like,
all you
I
need.
get, yeah. No, but my daughter thought it was a bit because she loved Gizmo, but she did not enjoy the movie.
who doesn't love Gizmo though?
But yeah, fuck, I loved
Such
Gizmo
a
as a kid. I was
genius
super. I think we've
character
mentioned it in the podcast as well that I was sad as a kid that I didn't get a Gizmo doll.
Everybody was
Yeah.
so cute. They looked so real too.
Yeah, exactly. They were super cool.
I think it was better quality toys back then too. Like
Actually, some yes, because my turtles, they still hold up.
Yeah.
Like those
And they
toys will.
look
But
good.
maybe that's because they're so poisonous. That's what I'm
Probably.
thinking as well.
Yeah.
There's so much fucking poison in them that it's just like or like toxic
they're
stuff
like
in
we
them.
better make this fucking good if it's gonna kill kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like at least it looks good when it kills him.
There's the horror story right there.
Exactly. No, but I think I don't know.
But
like,
that's interesting. Like just the new way you have to look at movies in general. Like, can my kids see this?
yeah.
Because
But I
mean-
introduced them early. My son knows more shit. He's like, I'm gonna tell this guy about the thing that we watch, and I was like,
Don't.
don't, because they won't know it.
Yeah.
Because my kids, they've seen The Dark Crystal. We've seen Labyrinth.
The Dark Crystal is so dark. You've seen the new show.
We're watching. I've seen the first episode.
Yeah.
It looks pretty sweet.
It's horrifying.
Yeah,
Like, it's
but
so
the
horrifying.
old one is also horrifying.
Because
Like
I actually haven't seen the old one.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought I
Oh,
had,
no,
but
we-
I haven't.
I rewatched it recently. I've seen it. It's
It's
but
a-
it is horrifying.
I
It is
haven't-
horrible.
I haven't seen the Dark Crystal, and I haven't seen Labyrinth yet either. So like,
Labyrinth, you
yeah,
haven't seen?
no, I missed. I don't know how I missed them.
Because Labyrinth made me fall in love with.
David Bowie,
No.
because you're gay.
No, I'm not gay. No, just kidding. I'm super gay. Tell that to my wife. No, but what? Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I fucking fell hard for that girl as a kid. Like, I loved her up until Blood Diamond, where I still loved her. No, but Blood Diamond was the movie that I watched in later years, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I love this woman.
Yeah, instead of scary movies, we're talking about scary crushes, I guess.
Scary crushes.
Yes.
Yeah,
How
so-
close we were to become stalkers back in the day.
Exactly, back in the day.
But yeah,
Cool
no, scary movies.
Scary
I
movies,
wanted to drop, if people haven't seen Hereditary, and by this point, I think most people have, but I know you haven't.
I haven't. I don't even know what
It
it's
is.
about.
I think it's the
It's
top
Hereditary.
it's the top recommendation I have for, getting creeped the fuck out movie of the year. Such a genius scary movie. It's from the guy who just made Midsummer, who that movie was just at the cinemas for.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Another creepy movie that I haven't seen it yet, but
I
it's
heard
supposed
good
to
things about it, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit twisted and weird,
Mm-hmm.
which Hereditary is. But if you haven't seen it, it should still be on Netflix, I hope. Check it out because, yeah, you're never going to sleep as soundly again as you do.
And also, I want to see what's that movie that, oh shit, with John Goodman. They're locked in a bunker. Cloverfield Lane, yeah.
I still have that in its plastic wrapping.
I want to see it because I thought that trailer was so
I've heard good things.
horrible, like in a good way, like it just made me feel so uncomfortable that they're locked in the bunker. And then there's something that
Yeah.
you don't know what it is. They
Like,
never give anything away.
Is it something, or is,
Is
it
it
just
something, or is it just
John
their-
Goodman being psycho? Like you
Yeah,
don't know.
or are they all be going crazy in that room? What's happening? You never know.
You never know.
You don't know. And I haven't gotten any spoilers on this, so shit. I also want to see these are 3 movies that I want to see: Train to Busan, that one, Cloverfield Lane, and I'm probably never gonna. But but there's one more, and it's the one where they can't make a sound.
Yeah, that was actually good. A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place, yeah. So they live their lives sort of trying to be super quiet so they don't get noticed by these things that
Yeah.
are taken, or I don't know what they are because I haven't checked shit.
Lower your expectations if you haven't already,
I have no idea what
because
it's
it got
about.
hyped very.
Yeah, but
like, a
it
lot
never
when it
got
came out.
hyped for me. It's just it's.
But it
I
got,
like the
like,
concept.
It got awards and stuff. And it
that's
was like very,
shit that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've just seen a short trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It was super short. We're talking 40 seconds
Yeah.
that I've seen.
But it's
they're
all
at a
good.
dinner table, something happens, they drop something or someone does something, and then just a thing happens, some panic, poof, theaters. That's all I've seen.
But
That's
it's-
all I know from this movie.
It's a beautiful concept, and to a certain extent, it is executed really well.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny because it's made by the lead actor, who is also married to
I
the
don't
lead
know
actress
who
of the
lead
movie.
Of anything is
So
in that movie.
they are married in real life, and they're
Oh,
playing a
shit,
married
yeah,
couple.
yeah.
So it's very authentic,
Mhm.
and you can really feel that
The
they.
tension that they hate each other
Exactly.
deeply. Yeah.
But he's the sort of cool, funny guy from the American Office.
Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Who's got
shit.
the crush
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
receptionist?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Love that show.
that guy. Who
What?
he's written, directed, and starring in that one.
Really?
That's why it got
Shit,
praised
yeah, I
so
totally
much, because
don't.
he came out of left field, just
Yeah.
like Jordan Peele with Get Out.
Mhm.
They sort of came at the same time. That also sounded really wrong. But they made similar type of movies
Okay.
at the same time, and both came from a comic or comedic background,
Yeah.
and just showed
yeah.
that
They can do other
comedians can
shit,
do
yeah.
really fucking awesome horror movies.
Yeah.
And speaking of Jordan Peele, I want to see the new Twilight Zone. He's supposed to be like
Oh shit.
The
Is it a
host-
show or a?
it's an
going-
anthology,
What does
so
that mean?
that means that it's a series, but like short movies, just like Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's movies that are not related to each other, other than like
Okay.
being hosted by Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
Short, scary stories or sci-fi.
yeah. But that's pretty much
Tales from the
Twilight
Crypt.
Zone. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. All
Pretty
those.
much.
Yeah, but that one had like some really scary ones that made me feel so uncomfortable. Like the guy that was seeing someone who tried to kill him in the mirror, and he was seeing that all the time. And he was just like covering all the mirrors and shit, and eventually he gets him, I think, or it's just something like that. I personally like old horror movies. I don't know. I have nothing against them, but the new ones, I don't know why they just don't work for me.
No.
And I always feel that they fail at some point.
You haven't
they
seen the
lose
new It, have you?
No. But the old one, like now it's probably ridiculous as fuck.
The Jim, what's his name? The Curry one?
Yeah,
Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah.
Tim Curry.
But that movie fucking scared. I couldn't even go to the bathroom at night as a kid.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Dude. And, like, I remember, like, when I was going to go to the bathroom and I turned on the light and I was expecting him to be behind me. Like, fuck me sideways. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you watch it ever?
Yeah.
Like, there was, like, once you see the fucking clown.
But this is the feeling you're going to get when you watch Hereditary.
Why would I watch it?
Exactly.
Why would I watch this?
It like, to put it mildly, it, like, raped my brain. But
That's shit I'm talking about.
It's so well made the way it is. Like, it just...
Like, it just psychs you out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
And it's, oh, God, I wish I could talk more about it, but I can't spoil anything.
Yeah,
So
No,
I'm not gonna
just
say
leave it
anything.
at that.
But, yeah. No, definitely, like, I think the quality of horror movies today is more about doing jump scares than anything.
That's what I'm saying. And they lose the tension at some point. Like, it's not even uncomfortable. You just know that they're trying to scare you rather than...
So you end up laughing at the movies instead of
That's
being
what I
scared.
did. And that's what the flower motherfucking boy from The Grudge, that motherfucker,
Exactly.
just fuck that. And I've said fuck so many times now because that movie
that
pisses me off.
Fuck that movie.
Fuck that movie. Because what did you think of the first Scream movie?
I loved it.
I loved it the first time. I kind of liked it when I watched it with a friend the second time because they didn't know.
Well, I was obsessed with it.
But the problem with that movie is that it loses everything once you've seen it a couple of times.
I've been obsessed with... It's something with John Carpenter, I guess.
Is that John Carpenter?
No, I'm pretty sure. Or is it...
Is it? I thought it was someone else.
Sometimes I get confused with John Carpenter and the guy who made...
Wes Craven?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I do that as well, like all the time. Like I mix them up.
It's probably Wes Craven who did Scream,
Yeah.
to be honest. And this is really wrong because I just said I was obsessed with the movie and now I can't remember who directed
Well, but dude,
it.
it's fine. Like,
It doesn't matter. But that one and the first Halloween movie.
Oh shit, the first Halloween movie.
I was insanely obsessed with that movie.
hate those movies.
Yes, I know you do. And all
No, I mean like
and all the Jason movies. Like, I love
There's another
slasher
actor
films.
in that one that we know. I think it's
in
like
which one?
Halloween 2 when the oh shit, I don't remember. Like one of them, like a guy running in a corridor. It's a famous actor as well. Like being chased by
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, yeah.
I don't remember.
He's running through the hospital. It's all like the lights are turned down.
I haven't seen the second one that much because I was so obsessed with the first one, and that was like,
the only one I didn't like was the one with the Halloween candy.
yeah,
That
the
was
third
such
one.
a weird one.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is the, and then like a company that made this and everyone wore the mask.
And that was the thing.
It's just like, what?
So the backstory there was that he wanted to do, again, the word anthology.
Yeah.
He just wanted to have Halloween as being like a label of this collected horror movie.
Yeah, I get that, but you
But it was
already
so-
made 2 movies with Michael Myers, and then you just totally
Exactly.
turn it around.
It was
just-
his like attempt to make something different with it, but it really just didn't work.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was bad. Yeah,
Season
that's what
of the
I mean.
Witch.
Like, yeah,
Halloween Season of the Witch.
Was that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So like
I
these
don't remember.
kids put on these Halloween masks and watch some
TV
show or
shit,
something and
yo.
then get hypnotized and then they turn into candy or something. Like it's
I don't
super
remember.
weird.
It's just so
Super
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
But slasher movies in general, I tend to love. but back in the day, loved it.
Yeah, back in the day, I think I went for gore rather than anything else.
Yep.
I don't want mystical powers because this is like a cop out.
Yeah,
Like it's an
exactly.
easy way out for the writers.
Yeah, and that's sort of, it became more silly than horror
Yeah.
when that started happening. Like he gets awoken again by lightning or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Just like
then-
hits the grave and there's a metal rod and this thing. And,
And
then
then
he
you
comes
have
up.
which one was that when he sort of, like it becomes a hell worm or something, and the Jason gets transferred through
Oh,
bodies to bodies.
yeah.
And super weird.
And I guess like that's why I love Child's Play
I haven't seen the
as
new
a
one.
kid. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Apparently, it's supposed to be good. Like,
But there was something
bad.
about Chucky. He was sort of maniacally, like he thought he was sort of like his own comic. You know, like
Yeah.
he was like,
but it's a funny situation when you have this serial killer badass transferred into a little cute doll.
But
you
that's
know?
what I mean.
It
I
just
like
makes
that
everything
there
funny.
was a backstory to it. That's I think what made me like, oh look, they can fucking make one that like sure it's not original in any way, like oh a serial killer in a doll, okay fine.
Yeah.
But it still gave you something like a little story to follow, and he was a fucking maniac.
Shout out to Ash, who worked the reception at Authentic, who was the biggest Chucky fan I've ever met. So
Oh,
she had
really?
like I don't know how many Chucky dolls, like the proper
shit,
ones,
yeah, I
and
wouldn't
collects
want
them.
that. No, wouldn't want that in my house.
Yeah.
Like dolls in general, just
Hell no,
get the
dude.
fuck out of my ass. Yeah, like
No.
dolls in general, just get the fuck out of my ass. Yeah, purple like doll that stood on a you know like you wind her up, and she has this like porcelain face.
Oh my god, that sounds horrifying.
And she has this, this like I don't know, like this fancy purple dress, like Baroque.
Baroque. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then she has like the hat and everything, and she just has a blank stare, and she just spins around to this like bling, ding, ding.
Of course. I wonder when
No.
that became a thing,
Fuck
like a scary thing.
that shit. My mom thought that was beautiful because she didn't have kids or like dolls as a kid. And she had like some specific dolls, you know, like when you were growing up and you buy shit for no reason,
Oh, yeah.
more than you didn't have them as a kid.
I do it
And
all
then-
the time.
That's exactly what I mean. Like it's pretty much you can get candy whenever you want, so you get some toys that you don't need. And my mom got this shit, and it's just like
Thank you, Mom.
cling, ding, cling. You know, just like no. That's how people die in movies.
Yes.
You don't need this, Mom. Just like step into that room alone.
Uh-huh.
I
Oh my
remember like my ex-girlfriend like walking in there, and then like you know like, you touch the doll, like you hit her, and then
It
just
starts
like
blinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like a couple notes, like ding, ding, and then she just like if you see her face, you're like fuck that. Like I'm out of this room. Close the door, because she was always like by the floor because she was tall.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like a thick doll, you know, like she was a thin doll standing with an umbrella and
course.
the hat, and it's just like,
Just even more scary.
yeah, that fucking, it was just that melody was not great. Like, just give that doll a knife instead of the umbrella and we're good.
Yeah.
Like, it's so horrifying. Like, just having, was it Mario at work that told me about, like, some toy that broke down at his house, and he's just, like, the batteries are draining. It was like I don't remember what toy it was, but it had like the slow draw, like, and he like fell asleep on the couch, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, you just like get panicked because you're not like mentally there, and you just hear a sound, and like.
Do you
I
have
don't think
any other scary movie? Like, I don't know.
because again, The Mouth of Madness, I think, is like one
But that was-
I remember like well. It's not like
The fact that you remember that movie at all makes me so happy.
Other movies that I've seen later was not Rumpelstiltskin, but something along the lines like that. Like I've seen that one as well, but that's not the one I'm thinking of because I don't remember. He just like grabs people.
It's
and
not
takes-
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
All
Jeepers
right.
Creepers, because there's a 2 as well, right?
Yeah,
Jeepers
yeah.
Creepers 1
I
and
just
2.
saw the second one a couple of months back now. Yeah.
But I remember kind of enjoying the first one.
I really loved the first one.
I don't remember shit from it, but I remember the sense of liking it.
It was such a fresh type of scary
Exactly,
movie.
right? Because they've stopped doing those types of movies because they sucked at some point. They
Exactly.
stopped.
It
And
got-
then they stopped.
I mean, it got the industry got saturated the way it always
I
is.
think, yeah. And,
And
then
then
that
they-
one came.
Because
yeah.
this one had a new mythology behind it too. Like it was a
Mhm.
new creature doing stuff.
And didn't they have a song, Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers, creepers.
'Cause they were- yeah,
where'd you
something.
get those beepers?
Yeah, something like that. But what was the movie about, really?
So the movie was about this creature, which I can't remember exactly
don't
what it's
remember
called,
what
but
it's called.
they called it like Jeepers Creepers, I guess.
Yeah.
And every, what is it?
Every something,
7 years or
yeah.
27 years or whatever it is, he gets to feed for 72 hours or 2 days or something.
Something.
And so what he does is he eats hearts to get life, and he eats eyes to get good eyesight
Oh,
again.
shit,
and
that
so
was
he,
it. Yeah, he harvests.
Exactly. He finds like innocent kids or something. He sees something
Yeah.
in somebody that he wants, and then he gets obsessed, and then he wants
Yeah.
the eyes or the tongue or
Yeah.
the skin or whatever it is.
But he could talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like
Sort
a
of.
humanoid-ish.
If he ate like the
Oh, maybe that
Your-
was it.
your
Yeah,
throat
I don't
or
remember.
something.
Yeah, because I remember he looked cool, and that's what made me watch it. I think I don't
so
remember.
he's sort of like almost like a gargoyle combined with scarecrow-ish, because that was his thing. Like he was on the cross, like a scarecrow,
Yeah,
and then he
maybe,
sort
I
of
don't remember. Yeah,
jumps on people in cornfields and just steals, I don't know,
but,
their skin
yeah,
and stuff.
I don't remember when that came out, but it was ages ago.
It was, and that was one of those movies that, when the video store just sells off
Yeah,
bulk
just like
movies,
for
they need to get rid of stuff. I got that one in like a big bulk pack,
Yeah.
not expecting anything out of it.
yeah, just
And it was like
cheap.
one of the coolest ones ever. So that was a super win. I paid like 10 crowns for it.
Yeah, that's usually what they sold them for, like
Amazing.
super cheap. Yeah.
The second one isn't as good, but it does go deeper into the mythology of the creature.
But that's what I appreciate more than just being
Yeah.
mystical and like ethereal. Like I don't
Exactly.
care for that.
I kind of like when there's a mystery and you don't know everything about the thing.
Yeah, but I still need something.
But
the
that's
thing
why
to keep
I
my
like it
interest.
that it's
Yeah.
in the second movie and not
Yeah.
over-explained in the first one. Because after the first one, you're still like,
Mhm.
so what is that thing? Like, you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
know more
No,
about
but
it.
that's what I mean. And then you can't find it anywhere, and
No.
it sort of makes me angry.
And then the second movie it's not similar to the first one at all. It's like a completely different type of movie, but with the
Okay.
same killer thing. Like,
Mhm.
the premise of the movie is
yeah,
the same.
it's the
but
same, but
it's very different, which I also like.
Mhm.
Sinister, that's one of the later ones. It's kind of old now, but
Mhm.
it's one of the later ones that I've really enjoyed because, again, it's a new type of monster that is one of those you don't know what it is.
Mhm.
Like,
the tall grass. No, just kidding.
kind of.
Bullshit.
And good actors, really good actors.
Mhm.
And it involves kids, which I know you love, which is
Depends if they're fucking like Children of the Corn kids, then they can go fuck themselves. But if it's just like someone trying to save their kid,
no.
that's different.
It's not that. It's more like this thing connects with kids
Ugh.
in a way and just makes it creepy.
Yeah, then it's too late for those kids. Just kill them all.
Yeah.
Just kill it all.
definitely.
Kill everything.
No.
No.
So if you haven't seen that
Yeah.
one, that's another
You
recommendation.
remember, like, was it called The Manglers?
Yeah, the
What-
Mangler.
The Mangler? Yeah.
That was a Wes Craven.
Yeah, exactly. And they were, like, afraid of cats and shit, I think.
Oh, no, you mean the Langoliers.
No, the Langoliers is the plain one.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
Tommy Knockers is the one with the spaceship that's
In the forest
sending out,
thing?
yeah,
And
like
then-
making everyone
Isn't it like the Sleepwalker Sleep? No.
sleep.
Because weren't they like cat people or something in that one that you're talking
Yeah, but they're afraid of real cats. They looked sort of cat.
ish, right?
Ish, yeah.
I remember the blonde dude in the
Yeah,
car.
exactly.
And he's like,
I think in Swedish it was called
Morphs.
Manglarna, or like something like that. Shit, I don't remember. Maybe it was something else. Maybe I'm just like confusing the titles. But yeah,
it kind of reminds me of a Scooby Doo movie, the Zombie Island one, where this island retreat is sort of run by cat people, and they kidnap tourists and steal their souls to live forever.
Okay, the Mangler is something entirely different.
Yeah, so that's Wes Craven with Robert Englund and a Mangler.
Yeah, and a Mangler, exactly. Which one am I thinking of then?
It's called something else. I think it's like not Sleepers, but
No, because Sleepers is that movie with
in Hell's Kitchen when they
when they're
get
like
butt fucked.
abused and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, the kids.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a Stephen King adaptation, the one that you're thinking about as well, because
Yeah, it is something like
He's-
that
he's-
with the cat people that are
Yeah.
afraid. But do you remember Night Terrors? That one fucking freaked me out as well. It was this movie. You'll probably recognize it when you see it, but
Night
this
Terrors.
one with the snakes coming out of the mouth.
I
This fucking movie.
remember.
And then, like, under the city somewhere, there were all these, like, freaks and snakes and shit.
I remember the
It's with
cover.
Robert Englund. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I've seen that one, to be
Oh, man,
honest.
I think
Or I
we
did.
rent.
and I
No.
just-
I think we rented this shit.
Of course we did. It looks awesome,
Yeah.
but I
But
don't
it's
remember
like
the
Robert
movie at all.
Englund, and then I don't know if there are any other famous people. There probably are some like
Fuck,
shady people, but
We saw
dude,
everything that was
we
in
saw
the fucking video
everything and we
store.
rented it, and like there were so many of these movies like Critters and stuff, and then there were these sort of like weird versions, like weird horror movies, like based off of other horror movies, you know, like that weren't even good. We just rented everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, not Monster Squad. Well, what was the other one called? There were these like monsters that came out of the toilet.
Oh,
Remember that one? They
shit.
were like 3 different ones or 4
Yeah.
different ones, and
Yeah.
they came out of the toilets and did kill people, I guess. But I don't remember what they were called. And there was like 2 or 3 of those movies.
Is it a Puppet Master? Is that
No,
it?
Puppet Master was the one with the actual dolls,
Yeah.
and that went around murdering people in a
Yeah.
big house. And then there was like the second one, and the third one, and fourth one
And
eventually.
seventh one.
Yeah, they just kept going with those, like the
Mhm.
just creepy little dolls.
But I definitely have like a vague recollection of.
Yeah, those
the
ones. It was like
toilet
a
monster
big
thing.
bald one that looked like a baby or
Mhm.
something, and I
They were like
remember.
sort of golems or
Yeah, exactly. They were some
something
type of,
like
maybe they were called toilet monsters.
probably.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if that would.
No.
Yeah, fuck me, the Ghoulies.
The Ghoulies.
Yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
so. The Ghoulies. Yeah, Ghoulies 1 and 2. That's what it was called. I just searched for toilet monster and the Ghoulies came out immediately.
Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. Yeah, let's see.
That
Ghoulies.
that rings a bell, for sure.
Oh, dude, I think you'll recognize. Yeah, this is probably the one that looked like a baby. Like, fuck me sideways. But yeah, it's these ones. Like these ones, yeah. There was one.
Oh yeah.
Fuck me sideways. This is, yeah, this shit.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't remember them
They
being
had
called
toys with them as well. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember shit. But
Like
yeah.
you bought a toilet and you opened it up and they like came out of the toilet.
Oh, yeah, now I saw the toy. Now I
Yeah?
recognize it. Yeah. Yeah, now I recognize it. It's like, but yeah, like movies
Probably
like
Google
that
it.
I really loved as a kid. I don't know what the fascination was, but it's just, I guess, monsters and
Yeah.
kids, you know.
I've always loved monster movies.
Yeah.
Still
Same
do.
here. I kind of stopped when I got older because they weren't living up to what reality was back then. But as a kid, I loved all those, like Critters, Ghoulies. There was even versions of those types of movies that were so shitty, you don't even, like, they probably don't even exist as a DVD. You know what I mean? Like, they were
Probably.
not worth DVD. And
Yeah. We need to
Yeah.
fight for those. Bring them
but
to
they
Blu-ray.
are fun. Yeah.
God.
And
Yeah.
imagine that Samurai Cop just came 2 years before Jurassic Park.
That's insane though.
That is insane.
For reals.
So my horror movie for you is Samurai. Like, I always end up with Samurai. But yeah, I have nothing.
I definitely have said more than everything.
Yeah, you've talked a lot today.
I have talked way too much, like insane.
Insane.
And I hate my voice, so sorry everybody.
Even that was a joke
Yeah.
at the fucking event.
It's like, what does Robert say more than anything? So it was
And
either
just like
Anna,
but
or-
you never say Anna
No, I
that
don't.
much. You just said it in that episode,
I
and
did.
that's become a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry though.
Sorry.
You
I do.
say sorry a lot.
I'm super
I
sorry.
don't think about it, but
No. I do, like in everyday life
Yeah.
as well. I get shit from Anna all the time because I do apologize for stuff I don't have to apologize for at
yeah,
all.
just out of habit.
Yeah.
It's just become a thing. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, I don't think so.
Fuck it.
That's I guess that's part of it. Like when you are in that position, you don't give a fuck. Just as much as people get annoyed,
Yep.
you don't give a fuck.
Hell no.
So,
You're happy.
Yeah, you're happy. So
Yeah.
just roll with it. Yeah.
Ego testicles.
Ego testicles indeed.
Mm.
And with those testicles in your mouth, we're out, people. And thank you for tuning in to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast. For all of y'all that and like
Stayed with us.
Yes, lasted this far.
Thank you so
Thank
fucking
you
much.
so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
we really appreciate everything. And we take nothing for granted except when we do. And
Which is all the time.
which is all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard not to get spoiled.
Of course.
But we love you and thank you for joining our event. If you have any tips or anything or want to reach out to us, Instagram, Sketchbook Heroes, at Ilias Patlis,
At Robert Ekblom Art.
or if you want to get tattoos.
Tattoos by Rob.
And with that, people, see ya!
They loved 80s cartoons.
Turn it off. Press the button. Press the goddamn button.
Press the goddamn button.
No, I'm talking to them. Why are you pressing the button?
Even with beards and tattoos, you know they haven't changed at all. Failing sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any line. Sketchbook heroes.
Like the alts in general, just get the fuck out of my ass, yeah.